Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your Panda back in action. Talk about something else today, but something else. It's another dead first meet. Number 6. Arctasia finally came out of retirement to come back. You know? It's like, starting to feel a little bit, I was kind of taking it personally there, Arctasia, that you didn't, take all the time out of your busy schedule to come over here. Oh.
I mean, yeah, but I had to absorb Maxwell in the process, so.
You absorbed Maxwell in the process?
The laws of equivalent exchange.
We did not give you permission to do that.
You didn't have to. It was going to happen anyway.
I'm going to smack you with a beating stick after this. But, yeah.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
he's more affordable though. Maxwell being like cybernetics and whatnot. You just gotta feed him.
You just got to feed him and throw money. All right, I'm going to boost your volume.
I'm cybernetic too, but I'm a lot more low-key cybernetic, so you wouldn't even really tell most of the time.
JK though, Maxwell, if you're out there, dude, love you, miss you. You better be here sometime.
He's just a great pretender. All right. Well, other than that, one thing that I forgot to do. You remember the video feed? Now we got like a video feed. I don't even know if anybody's watching right now, but if they are, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, so I want to start you off with something a little bit different, something a little bit unconventional, because usually when I roll these things out, I already have pre-planned topics that I want to bring to your all's attention, but this time around, I want to sort of just broach the subject on something that we can all sort of relate to. First impressions are everything, right? When you first meet somebody, you get to know them, you want to get a feel for them. Certain things that they do in that initial meet are going to impact how you see them from that point onwards, right? Like you're either going to be, it's going to be a favorable experience or an unfavorable experience, or not impressive enough that you're not going to have a lasting memory of them. So maybe you guys can, not to name drop or nothing, but you can sort of reference either some weird DMs that you got, or maybe like some interactions in VR chat that kind of rubbed you the wrong way, or maybe the right way. Maybe there's a positive experience. Maybe literally rubbed you the right way. Nah, I kid. But in all seriousness, though, like, go ahead. Like, what are some experiences that might come to mind? Because I have a couple.
So I was chuckling because I was trying to think, what's one? Oh, and I thought of it, and it's just the awkwardness of it. Just yeah. So this was a while ago. I don't quite remember how long ago it was. We'll say probably close to a few years ago now, actually, here on VR chat.
Yeah.
And I was just chilling out in the world, a bunch of folks there that I knew. I was playing pool and whatever. And there's just like one person just kind of going around, just I don't know, bouncing around a lot, and I was just like, whatever. But like at one point, they come up to me like, and I'm not going to be verbose about this because it's been so long, so I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, hey, what mental issues do you have?" And I'm like,
that is quite an opening.
Right, and I'm just looking at
bait.
this. Yeah, I'm just looking at this man thing, whatever it was. I'm just like, I don't really have any.
Wait a minute.
And then like
Man thing?
Huh.
Man thing? Like, what do you mean by that?
Thing? What? No, I'm being very vague because I don't know what the fuck it was.
Ethan Winter's man thing.
Yeah, it was a thing, and so yeah, I said I didn't really have anything, and he just looks up and he's like, "Well, why are you a furry then?" So apparently, the entrance fee to being a furry is I had to have something fucked up with me, which I get it, considering the grab bag of individuals you have in this fandom. You would think so, but no, no. But before I had the chance to even acknowledge it, he ran away, fell down. I don't know what he did.
He ran away and fell down?
Fell down.
My mental image of that...
They just sunk into the ground like quicksand.
No.
Oh no, something's controversial happened.
Yeah,
gotta fucking go.
My mental image of that is...
corpse cleanup.
Well, no, it's less than that. It's more like he tripped over the stairs, and it's like that dog that fell down the stairs, and suddenly there's an explosion. It's just like...
Yeah, like boop, 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 boop.
That's my mental image of that.
When you said explosion, the thunder crashed for me, so that was pretty good.
Okay, so not a very favorable first impression. He's already going into, It like I don't know why the comic that comes to mind. It kind of reminds me of like there was a comic where there's the main character. He's got a mustache. He looks kind of like an Italian guy, and there's like this little dog guy and like a baseball cat that's like, "Hey, nice mustache." The guy's like, "Oh, thanks." So, are you gay, Middle Eastern, maybe Italian? Like, and the guy just kind of stares at him like, um, because like 1800s, you had like stylish ass mustaches. Like you were kind of measured as to the quality of your mustache throughout those decades.
Old timey boxers, old timey professional boxers, with the big old mustaches, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a little bit like dated, but hey, Tex Wolf, thanks for joining us on the Dead First Meet. We are talking about first impressions before we get into any drama tonight, as Cyber's tail wigs the fuck out. Kind of unsettling Artasia, who's been polite enough to not like notice it too much.
I mean,
Hey, Kelly Shay.
And I was about to mention something like, bro, your tail is wigging out more than. But see, I didn't have anything equipped yet to like compare it to, so that's why I didn't say it.
Nah,
Since
that's
I kinda
okay.
said it anyway, for example, I trailed off because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not even sure right now.
Sire Pimp smoked a whole lot of crack before he got on here. I mean, meth.
It's just a dummy thick.
You could just like
Make a metronome out of that thing.
you could coil that and use it as a chair. Just like
I could.
all right. Cyberpimp, do you have any noteworthy first impressions that kind of maybe rubbed you the wrong way or the right way? Maybe literally. Maybe between your legs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, doesn't have to go
First
that far.
impressions, okay. If we're going back to like good old days of VR chat first impressions, are all these first impressions solely on VR chat, or is this just?
This is in general. This is like like people that slid into your DMs, people that did this, that, or the other. It's like the sky's the limit here. Okay, so it could have been like literally fuck all anything.
All right, so first impressions of VR chat. Way back in like we're talking. Vive came out. What 2018 Vive was big, right? That was like
Yeah.
that was like the game changer.
2016.
Well,
2016.
it blew up in like 2017, 2018 when more people found out about VR chat. But
Okay.
go ahead.
So it was probably 2017, like late 2017. I knew about VR chat earlier than that, but I didn't really get like invested in it until 2017 to 18. And went to the Pug. People said that's the place to be. Good old classic Pug. I went in there, and place was slam packed. I don't know what the world cap was back in the day. I don't really know if there was exploits where you could get more people in a world cap unless the author of the world changed things. But it was slam packed. Everybody had the most ungodly, unoptimized models you could possibly imagine, like 200 dynamic bones in a chain. We had Optimus Prime, like not like humanoid size Optimus Prime, like not like 6 foot tall. There he is. Like no, we had full fledged, Peterbilt 379 long cab or a Western Star Optimus Prime semi truck in the Great Pug, and I was like, so you come here often?
Jesus Christ!
And the guy had an air horn soundboard, so you heard bow bow, and I was like, yes, you do. And I was like, hey, you better transform right now. I will not allow you to drive.
Jesus Christ!
And he transformed into, big ass Optimus Prime. So that was really cool. That was the last thing. That was the lasting impression on me. And then, what got me first impression wise was, I was always a big fan of like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Budokai Tenkaichi. If I pronounce those wrong, tough shit. Cry about it. Then we had, what was it, Xenoverse, and then Fighters. So, I didn't really like Fighters because you went from the here I am, powered up, I'm flying around. He went from this like open world style of gameplay to just a two-dimensional peer-to-peer across the board Street Fighter style of gameplay. And like that's cool, everyone has their own cup of tea, but I'm a big fan of 3D Mortal Kombat. I'm a big fan of Tekken, Soul Calibur, so to step down to a 2D didn't really make sense to me in a Dragon Ball Z game. That being said, people started acquiring assets, wink wink, ripping models from all the Dragon Ball Z games, and then slowly they made their way into VR chat. And there was a huge community based around custom Dragon Ball Z models. And there was somebody, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I used to hang a lot at the Commies Lookout, uploaded by King Todd. Check him out. Great dude, awesome guy. But someone had Lord Beerus.
Yes.
Here we are, God of Destruction. He's a Bingus cat. He's a Sphinx cat. All hairless and wrinkly. I don't know how he stays so moist after for like 50,000 years.
Looks like a fucking cross between a plum and a prune and a scrotum sack. Because he's all purple
he's
and
like
fucking
Thanos if Thanos was a cat and had the less daddy issues. Yep.
Okay.
And don't mess with his pudding. But we had a Lord Beerus in our friend group that had everything under the sun. Like they had I'll just go down the list. They had the Infinity Gauntlet. They had like the Yu-Gi-Oh goddamn dual disc thing on their arm. They had they had a Halo gravity hammer, big ass clock like Flavor Flav. I could just keep going. They had so much shit on their avatar. It was just kit bash after kit bash, and every asset was like 50 to 100,000 polys. So this model was like 16 million polygons.
Jesus Christ.
So bad. And it had like 200 material slots.
Okay,
so
for context.
Oh my God.
Hey, everybody out there that might be watching right now. For context, a typical model will run you about 45,000 polys. That might sound like a lot, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things. I think the models that we're running right now is like 71,000 to 85,000. That's considered normal.
Yep.
Then you get into the territory of, hey, we got material slots on our fucking material slots. We got fucking, instead of everything being baked in, we got fucking shit that we just slapped on. And, it's like what my one friend says. He's an actual game designer. And when I sometimes bring him models, I'm like, hey, can you look at this? And his reaction is just like, hey, everybody, I decided to get on Blender, just slap some shit together. Here you go. And he will tell me, like, if it's a good model or a bad model, what he'll say is like, Tujo, I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at this thing and how it functions, this is like a fuck you to whoever has to animate this. Like, whoever's got to animate this is like a fuck you to them. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
And then I think the most simple item. Oh, they had a Pokédex. They had fucking Ben 10's Omnitrix on their arm. So every iconic. It was who's that dude from the Puss in Boots movie that has everything in a bag? What's his name?
Jack Horner. Little Jack Horner.
It was that motherfucker before the movie came out. Just instead of a bag of goodies and enchanted magical items, it was just everything you could imagine as an iconic weapon on one fucking guy, and he's already the god of destruction. You don't need all of this. And the most simple item they had was what's the necklace or the medallion that Yu-Gi-Oh wears? It's the upside down pyramid thing.
I forget. It's like an artifact from Egypt.
Yeah, so whatever that thing is, they had that as a necklace. Okay, you would think, oh, it's an upside down pyramid. Pyramid's got 4 sides plus the bottom that's 5 sides. So there can only fucking be 5 faces to this model. No, I shined a topo gun on them. Like I had a model that had, this was before the avatar testing world where you could shine a light on people and see their polygons. I had a model that had that feature, and I shined it on them.
Oh, wait,
and that
it's the Millennium
fucking
Puzzle.
Yu-Gi-Oh medallion. Yeah, the Millennium Puzzle. So
Thanks, Tex
that little
Wolf.
Millennium Puzzle, it wasn't just 5 faces or 5 sides. Every little like notch, crack, like hieroglyphic, like this thing was fucking sculpted by somebody. It had like 45,000 polygons.
I know what I would do with that. I would fucking attach like various lolcows to each of the sides, so one of them would have like Chris Chan's fucking like medallion like etched on its face.
They had a Sonichu necklace.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh no!
I'll try to upload it somewhere on whatever the socials are for this. I'll try to upload a picture of it. It's wild. It's wild. Oh, and then his pants, his like MC Hammer God of Destruction pants, were like one leg was Gucci and the other leg was Supreme.
Wait,
so it was like custom tailored pants.
But I got Gucci tail bags back here.
Nah, we put a tax on those, import tax.
What? Fun fact, did you know that Gucci was founded by a hitman? The aspirations of a hitman and the lady that kind of... No, it was just a hitman, wasn't it? Do you guys know the history of Gucci? It was kind of crazy. Like, I never really looked into it too deeply, but supposedly there was a hitman involved in that equation. Because, you know, Gucci sounds Italian. I guess, like, the mob was predominant in, like, the late 1800s.
Yeah.
So, anyway. It's funny that Cyberpimp actually mentions that Kami's Lookout, and that he was, like, a big fan of DBZ. Arctasia, please don't take this personally. I don't quite remember where we met, but I remember very explicitly where I met Cyberpimp. And I didn't really know him too well back then.
I don't personally remember either, truth be told. Some people you do remember pretty vividly, and others just like, where did we meet again? I don't know.
We just kind of assumed like that we were going to vibe one day. And it's like, hey, you're cool. I'm cool. Let's vibe. And you said, aight. Here we are today. No, see, Cyberpimp. It was in that weird, cringeworthy phase where, like, I adopted a Donald Trump avatar, right? And I got all my friends to, like, I found a Donald Trump avatar and I uploaded it. And what ended up happening is, I got all my friends to be Twitter bluebirds. And so, like, the gimmick was wherever I went, God, this flock of Twitter bluebirds would follow me. And I would sick them on people that pissed me off. And eventually I went to, like, Kami's Lookout, and I was just kind of hanging out. Cyberpimp was just watching me from a distance. He's just like, who's that dude over there? Kind of like the cut of his jib. But anyway.
Yeah, we're in the hyperbolic time chamber, and in walks this motherfucker. We're all in Dragon Ball Z avatars, shitposting.
Yeah.
Digimon there, too. And, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
So, like, the most defining memory of that was I was talking to like 3 people that were just like chatting me up and pretending like to be like Donald Trump. I'm putting on the act. My Twitter bluebirds have since dispersed and are like fucking with people around the world. And behind me, I hear this. I can't do a German accent to save my life, but I just remember this very thick German accent behind me where it's just like, oh, Mr. Trump, I'm your biggest fan. And I turn around and the fucker's got like the Southern Democrat model. And the Southern Democrat model is basically a KKK outfit.
Oh, no, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, no! Because it's just like,
oh, no, you're canceled.
Because I was live streaming all this back then.
God.
And so that's
back in the day when VR chat was a big shitpost meme.
So that's when I first met Cyberpimp, and like from there I went on to like go on to the Great Pug, and at the Great Pug I ran to Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un he kept alluding to like, oh, you should speak Korean, like he's like acting he's got like an Asian accent on, and for whatever reason, we were having, like, the nuclear talks there at the Great Pug, and Shaggy was our mediator. He was, like, supposed to, like, get in as, like, the mediator. And I'm just like, Kim Jong-un, you're going to cease this nuclear weapons crap or I'm going to bomb your shithole country into the Stone Age. And Shaggy's just like, that's some of that good old-fashioned American diplomacy I've been hearing so much about, man. I can't do Shaggy.
Like going scoop, like this man better get his shit.
Oh, man, I think the video's still up, but we were just fucking around a little bit. And eventually, we make a resolution. I promise to take him to like McDonald's and Burger King, and he promises to cease the nuclear weapons program. And we go on. We're on stage. We're dancing upstairs, and as I'm leaving, like girls just like, "This is why I play VR chat." And yeah, that stuck. I want to imagine that the way that I met Arctasia was during a heist. We're gonna do the big score, man. We're gonna rob the fucking First National Bank. Now, that was also the time that I was in association with Pika Petey. And Arctasia, he was fully on board with Pika Petey at the time. Not so much anymore, but at the time, them two were tight. So we get a crack team of professionals together. We go in there, we pull the heist. Really, it's just a level from Payday 2, but we don't talk about that. As I'm running back to the getaway car, I get shot in the leg. I'm calling out to Petey. I'm saying, Petey, help me. Help me. I can't make it, man. The last thing I remember, right before I went under, he steps up on top of me, says, sorry, Tujo, but you're just small time. Puts one between the eyes. I got better. It's kind of like Fallout New Vegas, when Benny's just like, nothing personal, kid, but you got to go. That's how I met Arctasia.
Yep.
He was like the tricky.
His kids, game was rage from the start.
Yeah. Just like paying your taxes. All right. So with that long, extended introduction out of the way, what I wanted to say to you all is I was going to do a little bit of a reading, and I'm going to make you two suffer through it.
Oh, no.
All right. I'm going to provide you some context for this reading, and there will be breaks in between. I'm not going to read the whole thing like from start to finish all the way through, but I'll just go ahead and tell you
Lord
this.
have mercy. Yep, I'll be pooping, yo. I couldn't do it.
Why don't you just be in VR, but in your bathroom, okay? Like, so that you can sit there.
Who am
Don't...
I, Dr. Disrespect?
Yes. I mean, you could be like Beavis and Butthead, where like they kept doing prank calls.
Dr. Disrespect. I'm
Oh.
You have to think of an acronym or.
By the way, Tex Wolf, to answer your question, it was really just we're kind of older furries. Thankfully, we're not senior citizens yet. One of us might be, though.
Yeah.
No, I kid. But anyway. No, I guess I watched Dead Poets Society too much, and I decided that the name was a good inspiration for what I was going to call the channel, because I didn't want any mamby-pamby bullshit names. I figured Dead First Meat, I might actually, like, draw a little picture of us all zombified, dead, like decrepit. The only thing keeping rigor mortis away is drinking coffee and cigarettes. Maybe some, like coffee and cigarettes by day, cigars and whiskey by night. It's something to live by, you know? So my dad does, and he's still alive.
Burp.
It's working for him. Why won't it work for us?
Hell yeah.
Nah, just fucking around. Okay.
It works for Congress. Look at them. They're all fucking zombies.
Well, when you say that, I think of one person that comes immediately. Okay, real quick, not to derail this too much, but you know Nancy Pelosi? She looks exactly like the protagonist, or I should say antagonist from Fear. Like Genevieve Aristide. She looks almost exactly like her. And Genevieve Aristide, she wears like a cross necklace, and I posted on Twitter once, and somebody's just like, you know, if you turn the cross upside down, that'd be a dead ringer for Nancy Pelosi. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So
Nancy Pelosi reminds me of Cruella de Vil. Like, that motherfucker definitely has like a Dalmatian fur coat in their closet.
Yes, exactly. Well, do you know who Genevieve Aristide is? Do you know what she does in the Fear games?
Dude, if they walked to my house right now, not only would they get blasted, but no, I have no idea who
okay.
they are.
It's been too long since I've played it.
It's okay. I'll tell you guys. So in an alternate universe, Nancy Pelosi is not a politician here in the States. She's actually the corrupt CEO of a military contractor that's got millions upon billions and trillions of dollars invested in the United States. So it's like established. They can make a call to the White House and just be like, "Yo, we need the first National Guard right here on our doorstep to take care of this problem." They could do that. They have that power. Except she's willing to sacrifice an entire city, like blow it all up, to cover up her mistakes and the mistakes of the people behind her and under her.
Is it Detroit? Because I'm on board with that.
The city is just shitty enough to be like a mixture between Fallujah and Detroit. Like, it's weird. Because, like, the city, you get the impression that the city's not even doing too well, like, at this point. Because there's, like, quite literally a level where you're fighting clone super soldiers through a series of, like, buildings, and all the buildings are abandoned. So, I can conceivably see Nancy Pelosi being the corrupt head CEO of, like, a corrupt, like, military contractor that's on call at the Pentagon anytime they want something, It's like, oh, how unethical do you want these experiments? We can make it very unethical, okay? Like, we can like, even kill puppies to make this happen, right now.
Oh.
Nah, kid. But, in all seriousness, though, from what I remember, this doesn't really have too much point to Nancy Pelosi, but there's a character in that game that is pissed off with, quote-unquote, Nancy Pelosi throughout the game. And he basically says, like, there's like you find voicemails of these characters that give calls to each other, and it's like Dickinson, I don't know who's calling the shots up there, but you better tell him to stop dicking around like fast now. The readings are off the chart. Listen, it comes to a simple motion of advice. You can either follow the advice of a professional, or you can prepare for the ass rape of a century, because it's coming. You mark my words on that. It's just...
Boy.
Basically, the reactor inside of the whatever plant this is all happening is about to go critical and explode. The same result happens either way, so like it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Hey, Kaiwu. Kaiwu is one of my vassals. I have delegated Kaiwu and Kelly Shea to be my vassalage when I start the Panda Kingdom. Anyway,
Get that Vaseline. Oh, what?
Jesus Christ. All right. So,
way to slide into that one.
Yeah, the game Fear, where you play as the point man that, for some reason, protagonists that never said anything and had no personality were attractive at the time. Because,
fucking,
great game.
Half-Life, Freeman head ass.
Oh, dude. There's,
similar thing.
Yeah, there's a college humor bit. Last thing before I get to the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about right here, but there's an agent that receives various video game characters, and he'll advise them on what they should and shouldn't do. So when Gordon Freeman comes to see him, he's just like, yeah, I'm just envisioning this massive war between you and this dystopian government that's trying to take over the whole world. And, it's a lot of action, a lot of run and gun action, things like that. And then Gordon Freeman's just like, I gotta say, I really like the color of your jib. It's a pleasure working with you. And it's like, wait, is that really your voice? And it's just like, yeah, why? It's like, did you already sign the contract? Oh, shit. Okay, you know what? Remember all I said where you kind of monologue to yourself and talk about this, that, and the other? Forget I said any of that. You're going to be the silent, like the strong silent type, You got to go against the grain. Because like what I'm hearing right now is as if Mickey Mouse just got castrated. And then like Gordon Freeman is looking angry. And it's like, I seem to have offended you somehow. Let's pretend like none of this ever happened and start from the very beginning. Hey, welcome to the office. Like, what can I do for you? And like Gordon Freeman starts to get indignant. It's like, really? Like, really? We're gonna go through all this again? It's like, yeah. Just anyway.
Oh my God.
Okay. So let's gear it away from VR chat and talk about like okay, so have you guys received weird DMs from desperate horny furries or desperate horny people to begin with? Just
surprisingly not recently, but there were times in the past I certainly did.
Okay. What comes to mind?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not anything extravagant. I mean, it's your typical like, ooh, woo, I'm horny. Let's, you want to do something kind of thing. Like, I mean, there's usually not a lot to those kind of things. Not a lot of personality. It's just all raw sexual energy. Just like, no, I have to come. Oh, so not a lot of activity going on up here in this head. It's more down, that head. So, yeah.
Oh, they were thinking about their other head. I see.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Little head.
I just had a PTS.
Why? Wait. Why am I? I'm just imagining a movie just called Little Head, but it's really about sexually overly horny people and the whole movie's just called Little Head. Little Head. Okay. For context, what I'm about to read for you, and I'm going to try, for the sake of the audience, to read this in Guilford Godfrey's voice.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so imagine you're an artist of some sort. You're an artist, and you draw really nice things for your audience. Now, go ahead.
Once someone said,
Clip that.
typed, I'm the fat silent type.
Sky Dust Guy, you are the protagonist. Wait, well, Wario's not too silent, but for some reason I thought of
Kingpin, but you just never speak.
Actually, hey guys, real quick. We're gonna talk about Puss in Boots later, but I want to see a death battle between Kingpin and Jack Horner. All right, like a mano-a-mano fist fight on top of the Empire State Building. Jack Horner versus Kingpin. I think they're roughly the same body type and they're roughly the same strength. Anyway. We'll talk about that later. But for right now, let's talk about this. Okay, so you're a fancy artist. You draw fancy work. The things that you draw are really beautiful, okay? People, they start to fap to your shit, okay? They start going. Now, you as the artist, you don't necessarily like to hear that because it's just kind of like, yeah, that's what I draw. But they say it to you anyway. Okay, so imagine someone slides into your DMs on Discord. They have somehow managed to get your Discord, and you as the artist say, hi. And then, instead of, saying something like, how are you? Okay, so let's preface this. How would you receive this person? You say, hi, hello, sup, something like that. What would you expect to hear in response? Before I get into what...
I mean, either a hello, how are you? The usual stuff you would expect a normal person to kind of reciprocate with.
Yeah.
Maybe even getting right to the point, yeah, I was interested in your shit. I want you to draw me something, right?
Just, you would respect that a little bit more than them kind of dancing around the bush to make a request or something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. How about you, Cyber? Exactly. How would you receive them?
I'd kill them.
You just kill them because you just kill them.
Hey there, bro. What's up? Boo.
What? Do you just shove the fucking rifle through the screen and it's like they're waiting for a response? It's just like.
Portal gun. Yeah, I like Sanchez's portal gun was like, pew, grabs rifle. But so I think there's a threshold. Even if you're aspiring and you're an upcoming artist or a model maker, I think that there's a threshold that you need to have mentally. You should be mentally reserved for.
Mm-hmm.
So if what you're making is selling like hotcakes, or if you're getting likes and retweets or uploads of that nature, obviously people are appreciating what you're making or creating, drawing, modeling. At some point you have to become aware of this and not have your socials so easily obtainable. So like if you had members of his past, like if you had like mutual friends or something like that, like that's cool. Obvious, but by all means, like keep up relations. That's great, but you should have alternate accounts, such as, you know, emails. You got to start thinking like a business person. You should have like different emails, different Discords, different socials, just for conducting, you know, either commission-based business transactions.
Hello,
or,
Sierra Hornberry.
Things of that nature, or potential like partnerships and collaborations.
Henneberry.
I don't necessarily think you should have like a one and done Discord account, or like a one and done Twitter, or one and done email. I think that's just really bad practice, and it's a bad habit to fall into. But
well, wait a minute. Sorry to cut you off there, but
died hard.
One problem I see with alt accounts, there's one motherfucker on this earth. I know he's not the only one that does this, but he's the one that readily comes to mind, is Ashy Paws. Because that guy, he had all the time in the world to make 50 million fucking alternative accounts. If you blocked him on one, all the others were going to quickly come into your DMs. I could see Arctasia being a target. I could see him being like, "Oh, daddy, oh, woo."
Oh, my goodness.
I was waiting
like
for a reaction,
Arctasia,
but
there's also one Tasia for every element. So like this is the Arctic Tasia. Okay, and then
the
we have
Arctic
like
Tasia,
the Fuego Tasia. They're the cool Central American, you know, firebender Tasia. You know.
Oh no, it's Ashy Paws with ASHI, and Arctasia. If I was to pretend to be Ashy Paws, you'd be my first target. I'd be like, "Oh, daddy, oh, woo," rubs your pawsies, wazies.
Damn, dude. And then you gotta hit him with some of that.
The look on his face.
Yo, bro, fucking, you blast him with that candy corn, because Lord have mercy, no one eats that.
I eat it.
it.
I'm dead inside. I'll eat anything.
Candy corn's actually pretty delicious. All you haters out there, you better get stepping.
All right. So listen, you would have multiple Discords, or at least accounts, alts, that you could rely upon to pretend to be somebody that you're not if you had to get information.
Yeah,
I could get that, but here's
not just that. If you're bankrolling, for you to have a burner phone, let's be real. For you to have, say you have a prepaid phone plan, $45, $50, $55 a month. If you're doing $200, $300, $400, $500 commission pieces, $800,000, you know, $800 to $1,000 or $1,200 model commissions, it is not unrealistic for you to have a second phone with an alternative number to keep track of things, purely for like art and business transactions. That's just me personally. Just make yourself harder to be contacted by people who you necessarily don't want to be contacted by.
Yeah.
That's just a suggestion. Like, you obviously don't have to do that. You don't have to go out and, you know, take on those expenses. But if you're established, if you made it as an artist, if you made it as a content creator, for you to spend like an extra $50 a month and you don't even have to get a smartphone plan. You literally could just use a burner flip phone just to receive SMS messages, for like verification, two-factor authentication, that kind of thing, just so you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Across multiple people contacting you.
Fair point. In this hypothetical scenario, I will not reveal the name of the artist, but he posted this on his Twitter, and I saved it. Now, as far as the date of this particular drama, this is back in August 2022, so several months ago, like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 7 months ago. So, here's what happens. The artist receives this person, accepts the Discord request, and it's just like, you know, hello, as like a greeting. Okay, so here's how the person responds. He doesn't just say hello back. He doesn't even say, how are you? Motherfucker posts like a 15-paragraph response going into his entire life story. I haven't even read the whole thing, but it's so weird. And the artist basically posted this on Twitter saying, "Hey, when you message me, please don't do this." So I don't even know how the interaction went, because after that whole 15 paragraph essay, the artist was probably just like, this motherfucker, and just cancel the whole thing. He's just like, nope, not dealing with your crazy ass. So, how about this compromise? I'm going to read this for your all's and your all's suffering and your all's enjoyment. Every 4 paragraphs, I'll stop to give my voice some recovery time and for you to comment on the actual material. Because I haven't read it yet in its entirety, but it looked pretty crazy. Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody. I hope you're ready for this. I will not be able to look at the comments section because, this is taking up all my screen, but that's fine. Artasia.
He can still see it. Just don't act up.
What, do I have a secret power counter in the top right hand corner, but it's actually the live chat?
Yeah, so remember back in the day of split screen gaming where if you didn't want someone to screen snipe, you just you taped cardboard to the fucking television and
oh no.
I remember. Or side yeah.
Jesus
that's
Christ.
What you had to do.
That's what you had to do.
Yo, what the fuck is a LAN party?
I went to LAN parties. All right. So I'm going to read best I can, and then I'm going to go down the list best I can. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Let's see. Do I look all right? Yep, I look all right. Okay. We're going to read this, motherfucker. Okay. Okay, let me start from the very top. It's he literally says, "Hello! I suppose I should introduce myself, although this may be long, so bear with me. At around age 12, I discovered DeviantArt, which, if you know anything about, I spent my teenage years closeted because of all the angry reviewer media I consumed. Also, parentheses, can we talk about the sheer number of gay jokes in early Nostalgia Critic? What the fuck did He-Man do to deserve such mockery? At the time, made anti-furry jokes that actively prevented me from dealing with my trauma or acknowledging the furry part of my identity until college, at which point I had such and such as my freshman year roommate at IUPUI, although the both of us are in bad places in our lives right now, and he stopped responding to me after I may have overstepped my boundaries. Something I'm actively doing with you. I'm still not sure if he hates me. Also, about a week before college, I discovered the art account of Saint Draconis, which awakened something deep inside of me. And by junior year of undergrad, my brain was generating mental sketches similar to their style to the point I was like, quote, "Welp, I'm basically Saint Draconis," end quote. Although I never drew any of it. Wow. This is more of a head case than I even thought.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So that would be an example of hitting the ground running.
That's just one paragraph. There's at least 14 more.
Saint Draconis sounds like a dragon priest that you'd have to slay in a Skyrim campaign.
Right.
It's okay, Bear Thing. I am actually reading chat, but when one of these two are talking, I don't want to be rude and cut them off, even though I do that anyway, but I remember something. I'm just kidding. But
you hit him with a double finger banger 9000 right there.
Oh, birds. I got 2 of them right here. They're endangered.
Birds, yeah.
What are
No,
those?
they're
Look at
not.
those little goddamn little smokies, dude.
goat
Small
hooves.
ass little hot dog. Yeah, what are those?
All right.
You ever see the person with that puts up the middle finger? It's like, bam! It's just
So
like
wait.
a beacon, like a fucking monument. Like,
Yeah,
how's your finger that long, dude? Like, I don't know.
We're
Goat hoof right there.
well, we're already getting off to a bad start. You know?
Right, definitely.
Like he's
Didn't even warm up into it. Just like
Well, like, think about it this way. You gotta strike when the iron's hot, man. You gotta get that pity points,
so, yeah.
you know? The pity points. Like, references...
Pity points. No, we don't do none of that shit around here.
Well, see, like, distinctively it reminds me of, like, the satirical comic where a little boy, like, approaches, like, somebody that's holding an assault rifle, and the little boy's just like, "Hi, I'm a small child. Can you give up your gun so that I may live?" And what the guy ends up doing is he just yeets that child. Like, just, woo! It's like, it's kind of like Michael Jackson, where it's just like, "And the kid is not my son." Woo! She said, "I am the one." but like Cyber Pimp, he said his reaction was, "I would just eat that boy. I would just pick him up and be like, oh."
Yeah, gobble them up, dude. They're all gone.
I mean,
have you seen them? Like, nope.
Okay.
It's that Family Guy meme where he's like in the restaurant and the fucking dude eats him. He eats Peter. His jaw unhinges.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like a boa constrictor.
Jesus Christ. Well, the dude's head was really big. Oh, man.
Yo, dude, look at this tail, bro. It's wild in here.
That tail is pretty much your security blanket. See, Artacia, he's got a staff, and I got my Gucci bags. That's our, like, equivalent security blankets. You just got that tail. And your Magnum PI looking ass. Okay.
Has own, like, feeding schedule, zip code. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Actually...
Yo, inside those bags is a list of all of Tujo's worst fears. So if you're ever on VR chat, just sneak on up and just take a peek.
I thought it was basically one bag was for clams and one bag was for rocks for each one of those clams. So we're like, you smash the clam and you throw away the rock and then you eat. Hey, Pillow.
No, dude. Rocks are a finite resource in today's day and age.
Yeah, but I'm just I'm an irresponsible otter panda that lives in the water and eats bamboo. So, I don't give a shit about all that. Hell, when I collect rocks later...
Bamboo that grows in water is just called sugar cane.
It's tasty. Wilford Brimley might be knocking on my door someday, when I'm at age, 55. Just be like, "Check your blood sugar, check it off, and while you're at it, give me a Philly sub steak sandwich or I'll shove my hand in your mouth and stimulate you. Here, Liberty Mutual, there's something I gotta tell you. I like corn dogs." All right.
Someone just said Gucci Gang in chat. What is this?
It's a great song.
I think this is a charity.
Yeah, it's Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. All right, I'll move on to the second paragraph. Anyway, long story short, the year after graduating with a BS, a bullshit degree in physics, I developed schizophrenia and found a psychologist to provide medication. A few years passed, and I was accepted into a monkey scrotum program in quantum information science, which I currently have incompletes as a result of my mental health. I am in vocational... Just as a side note, I'm starting to see why that one furry asked you what mental disorders you have. I'm starting to see it here. Have incompletes in as a result of my mental health. I am in a vocationally rehabilitation and am supposed to be researching for my first job. I will have a meeting with a talk therapist this month. Perhaps I could arrange to have art therapy to draw furry stuff. Also, to become more comfortable with myself. I recently purchased graduate-level textbooks on general relativity, quantum field theory, and string theory. I am expecting to receive this week 3 books on drawing furries, 1 book on the famous 9 old men of Disney, and 1 book about Hayao Miyazaki. I am unsure of my future. Now, for context, ladies and gentlemen, you need to bear in mind that this is just a random schmo that reached out to a prominent furry artist, completely just out of the blue, just hit up their favorite furry artist for a chat. This is I'm pausing in between paragraphs, but there's no pauses between any of that. All right, no pauses. This is all one contiguous. Shut up, Cyber. Shut up, Cyber. No, we don't like ashy paws here. We don't appreciate.
Why'd your leg lift up in the air like a can girl at a 45-degree angle?
Because I was envisioning myself being Bruce Lee doing an upper kick on somebody that was attacking me.
You just bayonet a high kick out of nowhere.
I did. My fucking full body sucks. Anyway.
That is a bad bitch. Lord have mercy, I'd act up.
Yeah. Anyway. So art therapy. I have never heard of art therapy before, let alone furry art therapy. No, specifically furry art. It has to be furry art therapy.
Furry. Yes.
What comes to your mind when you hear that?
Like kind of art. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things you hear, and it's like, art, I get it. Therapy, sure. Art therapy. It just doesn't. You keep like you think it would just, but no, it does. It's like putting the square piece in the circle hole. It's like it doesn't. It just doesn't quite work.
You can. Like, I've watched that video.
Okay, but
by the way, I'm gonna send this.
So
I'm gonna send this screen cap to you guys because I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing, but you guys already got a pretty good idea of like what this is all about. Oh, he does end things off.
Oh my god, that is.
Bruh.
I like.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
I like how the only response they can give to that is just.
Well, that's.
Which, I mean, really.
I would.
Really, that's. You're right. I mean, that's all you can say to that. It's just like, okay. We're just gonna.
Yeah, pretty much.
If y'all got better TV, hit us with that troll face in chat.
Troll face in chat. Okay. So the TLDR, we already spent almost an hour talking about all this. Like first impressions, things that we've experienced here in VR chat, things that you probably shouldn't say in DMs to people that you've never even met before. This is something that you would say at the end of a friendship. Usually you're the one that's doing it, and the person that receives that is going to be like, man, fuck this guy. This guy's unhinged. Also, Skydust Guy, that looks like Blue from, like, Foster's Home for Imaginary Weirdos. Like, imaginary freaks. Imaginary assholes.
Cujo, look at what I tagged you. Cujo, look at the chat.
I don't know if I want to see this.
Oh, you do.
Oh, I'm that guy? Am I the teacher that wears the sombrero? I'm the guy that's wearing the sombrero. I'm like, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Okay.
This is me trying to read that shit.
All right. So listen, everybody. Good. Do some closing thoughts on this if you have any, but I was going to move on to our first major story.
Like, I never really understood, like, the whole, like, necessity to just sort of, like, divulge this sort of information. Like, I wasn't ready for this. I really wasn't. I had coffee. Like, I
don't worry.
I set aside all my things, just got everything. I got all my ducks in a row. I was like, okay, it's going to be a great evening. Why am I doing this voice? And then, like, this came about, and I'm just like...
Damn.
I just want to take a shit in their father's mouth. I think that's what I feel like doing.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
And be like, how could you let this happen?
My defining memory of Arctasia is that for some reason I seem to have violent fantasies because in VR chat I'll go up to people and just like act like I'm punching them, and what would end up happening is Arctasia would be like, why so violent? And it's like, the pizza is aggressive. You wouldn't say that, but other people would. And I'd be like, well, Arctasia was beating up somebody, but they deserved it. And without going into detail about why they deserved getting beaten up or anything like that, Arctasia would just be like, oh, okay, well, they deserved it. That makes everything all right. Okay, you're perfectly justified in what you did.
Yeah.
As long as they deserved it.
I don't get paid to ask questions. I just show up here.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, you guys wouldn't know this, but more recently, this was this past month, like January, a murder happened. Murder took place. And, like, the YouTuber involved, he wasn't anything special. He did, like, he reviewed toys, like Doctor Who merchandise, talked about Doctor Who a lot. He's British, or at least of the UK Isles, so bear that in mind when you sort of look at all this. But,
yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah. Well, it's all the same. Yeah. Irish, Scottish, British. It's all the same. Even though
they're all Scottish. Don't get shit twisted. They're all Scottish.
I'm pretty.
You can quote me. Clip that.
I'm pretty sure somebody would beat you up for saying that if you said that in Glasgow.
They can try.
Well, I think you would do a much better job than Ethan Ralph did when he fought, like, quote-unquote, 5 Portuguese ninjas that jumped him in a back alleyway and stole his man purse. But...
Man purse? Who are you, Indiana Jones?
No, Ethan Ralph, he had a man purse that they stole, and they figured out he was famous online, so they were trying to sell it online, but nobody wanted it because Ethan Ralph is a loser. Anyway. I could tell you guys about Ethan Ralph. He's basically a redneck. The one thing, and you all can bear witness on this too, on this live stream. The one thing I will congratulate Ethan Ralph on is live streaming Chris Chan's arrest. What are you Are you assaulting Artasia with your tail? Just be like, and Artasia's just like, ah!
It's like, all right.
That's some quality content right there. Keep it up, guys.
Right.
We can make a movie out of it. Instead of Jaws, it will be Tails. You know those mouth tail things.
Y'all can't see. Here I am. I'm unscrewing an invisible bottle in VR. Here we go. I'm drinking.
Wait.
Oh, I'm dying.
I'm about to do something else in VR.
Oh.
I kid.
Oh yeah, it's so immersive. I'm hydrated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, there's this guy called Vote Saxon 07. This is also something I'm going to make a video on. I haven't had time to do so because I'm trying to get videos out slowly as I work on them. But yeah, Vote Saxon 07, pretty cool dude. Not really, but he reviewed little things like Doctor Who, talking about Doctor Who. Toy merchandise. He was selling things not too long ago. Can't imagine why. It's almost like he was preparing for something. But he was just like, everything must go. All this Doctor Who merchandise I've collected over the years, I need to sell this. I need to get this out there. You all need to buy it. So here's what happens. I'm going to relay to you all a little story here, and you're going to comment. A pregnant woman is murdered in cold blood, and the police have reasonable suspicion to suspect this guy, Stephen McCullough. That's his real name, but online name, Vote Saxon. Like I said before, he's got like 35,000 subscribers, so he's up there, not like PewDiePie who's got millions of subscribers, but respectable for YouTube standards. And he was presumably getting some money for that and stuff like that. So when the police come over to his house and are just basically what? Well, what's all this then? Yeah, I gotta say that because that is, by the way, my headcanon is that to preface any arrest that takes place in the UK, whichever it be Ireland or Britain or even Scotland, it's got to preface with, well, what's all this then? It's got to start with that, regardless of what's about to happen. It could be a fucking drug deal gone bad with a shootout or something like that. Like, before the firefight begins, like, it's got to start off with that.
They don't got guns over there. They got, like, slingshots and switchblades.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway, so they arrest the dude, and the guy says, he basically plays his Uno reverse card. He says, but I was live streaming on the night of the murder. I couldn't have possibly have murdered this chick. And I got several thousand people that watched my live stream and knew that happened. I was live streaming. So he gets released. He gets released right back over there.
It's like Nikado Avocado that heard their neighbor getting like strangled to death and they were eating lobster tail or some shit. They're like, but officer, I swear it couldn't have been me who murdered them. Do you honestly think I could like make it to their house and back that quick? Look at me.
Well, let's be honest. The whole building would shake and rupture if he had to run that fast, that far. The whole west side of the fucking building would just be like slumping over. It would be the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
I'd actually record an earthquake activity.
Put something really heavy in the back of a pickup truck and the suspension squats down.
Boom, 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 boom. Nope, not dead. Gonna go back to eating my lobster now. Boom, 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 boom.
We're all going to hell.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm going there first.
I mean,
His tail is wild, and I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
I see it more like the Spartans, where it's like, tonight, Spartans, we dine in hell. Let's go to Red Lobster. Your talk of Red Lobster has gotten me hungry for lobster now. I want some of those Cheddar Bay biscuits. Arctasia can get a salad. He's got to watch his.
Like a Cheddar Bay biscuit.
He's got to watch his girlish figure. I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. So, he gets released, but then he gets arrested again. Okay, and here's the thing. Here's the TLDR, so that we don't dwell on this too much. I'm still trying to figure out a motive. Why did he kill this pregnant woman? Because here's the thing. This was a long, drawn-out process that encompassed about a couple weeks, maybe a month, but motherfucker, right? This is premeditated murder. This guy planned things out in advance. He was like accruing the funds necessary to, like, you know, in case he had to jump.
Oh God, it's
really,
all those nachos I ate.
like in case he had to jump like really fast, maybe cross the border, go back into deeper Europe. Hell, maybe join the Ukrainian army in an attempt to like distance himself as far away from like home, like, you know, action at home, so he has plausible deniability. Fucker, in December, like mid-December, it was like December 13th, he records himself like playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And he's just drinking copious amounts of alcohol. I think it was gin, but it could have also been vodka. He's just like slamming back drinks. He is pretending to live stream to a live audience, but he wasn't. Because that was the live stream that appears on the night where, you know, the murder took place. And like throughout the entire duration of the entire live stream, he's constantly saying, it'd be like me to the audience, except I'm actually reading everything that you're saying. It'd be like me live stream to you all game. It'd be like, hey guys, due to some hookup mumbo jumbo between my PlayStation 2 and like the PC, I cannot see chat right now. If I try to look at chat right now, everything's just going to collapse. The whole world is going to collapse into like a black hole. The whole universe is going to fold in on itself. It'll be like the Big Bang Theory times 10. Okay, I can't do that. And like as he gets more drunk, he's getting more sloppy because he keeps repeating that every 5 seconds. Now, you'd imagine that's a little bit suspicious, you know? Like, why do you need to... I would say, like, a good ratio would be once per hour, maybe, for, like, new people coming into the live stream. He, like, spent all this time recording all of this. What happened on the night of the murder? He's recorded 10 Ways to Sunday. He's recorded getting on the bus, getting into a cab, wearing the same gloves that he presumably strangled the woman with and conducted the murder with, is recorded giving change to the bus to get the ride to back home, like, you know, from the murder. So there's all this evidence just floating around. Guess what his story is when he gets...
Well, the bus ticket would be time-stamped.
Exactly.
And most public transit has a security camera that shows who gets on and off of a bus.
Nah, man. See, if it was me... Well, the dude had a beard and mustache combo, so he couldn't quite...
Damn, yo. If you got a beard and mustache combo, you are absolved of all charges. You cannot be charged under any crimes. Yo, just look at John Marston. Okay, if you're playing
Get the fuck out of here.
John Marston has a beard and mustache. You will never, ever get arrested.
So... what he should have done is he should have shaved himself, put on like assembled the shavings in his sink, assembled himself his own beard and mustache combo. So after he conducted the murder, he could just rip the fucker off, throw it in the trash can, or burn it.
Velcro beard.
Yeah, exactly.
Peel it off.
Just be like, and just throw that shit in like the sink and burn it. And but here's his story. Here's his story. So he gets arrested again. He gets called back into court, and they're just like questioning him. It's like, okay, listen, we have all these video feeds, like security feeds that we've been reviewing, and like all this other shit. Like, what happened that night? It's just like, I can't do a British accent. Well, you see, Governor, I was just in my flat, drinking some gin, playing some Vice City. Very good game. And then I passed out. What I think happened, Governor, is that somebody, the murderer, he took the taxi cab, got to my flat, came in for whatever reason, saw me sleeping on the couch, stepped back out again. That's why all the fingerprints lead here. So really, I'm not the one that murdered the girl. All right? You need to let me go. He actually said that in court when they were questioning him. He actually said this fucking bullshit story about this mysterious murder that he doesn't even know, murderer, that came into his house, saw him sleeping or something, did something in the flat apartment. That's why the police found the fingerprints in the apartment. Went out, even though they were his fingerprints, by the way, left, and he was like passed out after playing some Vice City on his couch. That's the real reason. Hey, Backrooms boy. So what do you guys like? What are you thinking so far? I haven't given you much as to his mode of character, but like, how's this story sounding so far? Is he up shit creek without a paddle, or is he okay?
No, he's innocent, 100%.
Because he's got beard and mustache
no I mean, exactly.
Hey, you know what they say? If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
If the fursuit don't fit, you must acquit. Anyway, no,
that was some terribly cringy shit. Now I'm gonna fight you.
Oh, bare knuckle bar. Okay. No, it's in reference to Kira the Wolf. It's okay. I'll tell you later. Okay, so listen, this is what happens. He gets like arrested, and it's found because like basically they look through all his files, they look at his PC, and they're just like, "Yo, dude, you pre-recorded this live stream." So he couldn't react. Like, here's the thing: if I was live streaming right now, somebody tried to get my attention, and every 5 minutes I'm just like, "Hey guys, I can't see anything that you're writing right now. I'm not going to react to it. If I do, the world's going to fold in on itself. Sire Pimp's going to shoot himself in the face. His tail's going to eat him when he's dead." And you're just gonna and you're gonna fold in on yourself. Arctasia's gonna go back to his home planet, possibly die along the way, like Poochie did on Simpsons. Do you remember that? Poochie died on his way back to his home planet. Cool dog.
Damn.
And like all of this, like, see, you guys would quickly know if I could actually see chat or not, because I wouldn't react to a goddamn thing if I was like pre-recorded, uploaded it, went off to kill somebody, probably choke a badger to death, come back, act like nothing ever happened, sit back down again, pretend I'm Anton Chigurh. We are live right now. Tex Wolf, you would not understand. But anyway, he actually thought that was going to be a defense in court, that he live streamed the whole thing when he actually pre-recorded it almost like half a month earlier, uploaded that shit that night to play. So he gave himself an alibi so that when he got arrested, he'd be like, "Oh, I was live streaming all night, Governor, drinking gin." And he was getting creepy during like the live stream. It was for 6.
Yo, you were drinking gin for 8 hours straight.
6.
You would die.
6 hours.
Whoa.
And he was getting creepy along the way. Like, as he got more drunk, he was making like lurid like references to the woman he was going to kill, like Natalie or whatever. And like, it's like, I know what he actually said, but I'm just going to act like it's like, Natalie, you should have just had the abortion when you had the chance. Now I'm going to have to make you suffer. Not quite like as incriminating, but it's just creepy. And it's like, dude, you're recording this to give yourself plausible deniability so that you can use this as evidence when you get to court and just be like, no, I was live streaming the whole night. Couldn't have anything to do with me. The murderer somehow found my apartment, broke in, left when he got what he wanted, and left. I'm innocent. Innocent of all charges. Right?
A little bit.
I'm still trying. Well, I'm still trying to find out a motive.
Like this much, like.
Yeah, like a little. Yeah.
My fingers don't work here. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Just a pinch motion.
Mm-hmm.
Grab him by the pussy.
Whoa.
Throwback to my days when I was Oh! I was going to tell you this earlier. Do you remember that fucked up looking DBZ woman that you played as back in the day when you were at Kami's Lookout? She had like the really long tail. She was pink and she had white hair that billowed in the wind.
Oh, that's literally just Android 21.
Yeah. Like, so there was this high pitched femboy sounding dude that came up to me in desktop mode while I was Trump, and it's just like, Mr. Trump, do you want to grab me by the pussy? I kept like shitting on. I kept.
Were they wearing that avatar?
They were wearing that avatar. Anyway.
Oh no.
Yeah. So vote Saxon 7. The dude was evil. He's probably going up shit creek for a while. So do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to jail. My verdict. That's the first time I've heard of premeditated murder, but you specifically recorded something to be uploaded as a live stream to give yourself a piece of evidence. How did he think that was going to work? It's like you're being recorded everywhere you go, especially in the UK. And UK ain't that big compared to the United States. Like, United States, you can go across the Mexican border if you wanted to. Probably get shot by the cartel, but I guess that's better than federal prison. Still, it's just like what did you think was going to happen? Anyway. I just can't get over that, you know? But, as far as drama goes, there's something I uploaded the other day on my channel. You might have heard of it. Remember our poor puppy, Kira the Wolf? You know, bring him right back into the fandom with open arms. He's come back. Holla. He has come back to profess that he's a changed man, and that he's changed so much that he's rebranded to become a cringy VTuber. He didn't even really do much like high level thinking about that because he didn't make himself all animated or anything like. Oh wait, let me read some of the comments before we continue. Live, derived, and cringe survived. Words to live by. I remember he made some sort of pun with Natalie's name. Yeah, he did. And he was like running somebody over at the time. We live in an era where somebody did such poor planning for a murder that could be a skit. I will make that a short here in VR chat. The real tragedy is that this is in England, so the judge that convicts him is going to be wearing a robe and a powdered wig.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tradition is a powerful thing, but should we still... You know what? If England's going to keep their traditions, maybe we should bring back colonial America. You know, like the tricorns and, like, you know, the old-fashioned, like, outfits. The only thing I draw the line on is instead of muskets, I want to keep my AR-15, okay? Like, that's the only anachronism.
When you said tricorn, the first thing I thought of was a unicorn that looks like a fucking triceratops.
Hey, wait.
Original idea, dude.
Kai Wu, draw that real quick. But credit Cyberpimp.
I'm it right now.
You're gonna draw a crappy ass like crayon drawing.
I'll 3D model that shit. Oh, yo, here you go, too, Joe. This one's for you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, whoa.
You look like a fucking ink blot. Come over here to show yourself off. Oh my god, they look sus as hell. Oh wait, anytime the lightning goes off, I see you. I see glimpses of you.
Get a little something there.
Yeah, you're still.
Yeah, just...
There we go.
Yeah. Put that shit away. Unless you guys want to change avatars and like look completely different from where we started. I can't let this podcast get derailed this fast. So sit your ass down. Okay, sit your ass down does not mean blow up half the universe for no discernible reason. You're not the fucking God Emperor. You're not the Emperor of, like, you know, fucking Star Wars. Also, I just noticed she's wearing, like, do you see? She's wearing, like, stiletto heels. Like, she got stiletto heels.
Of course, she's a demon, dude. She's a Majin.
Okay, if I was...
right, let me take a load off. My
All
dogs
right.
are barking.
We've been here for like an hour, 14 minutes, man. If your dogs are barking just from like getting up for a bit, then you got some problems. You got more problems than Arctasia can count from his distance. And then you were like molesting him with your tail for a little bit there, and Arctasia's like,
I don't recall this.
We don't.
False accusation.
okay.
We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
talk about
So
Not even that.
Kira the Wolf's rebranding. Do you guys know who Kira the Wolf is? Do you guys have any idea the history of what he's done for the furry fandom, what he's done to the furry fandom, I should say, and everything that sort of goes into that whole 9 yards? Do you guys remember? Because he used to live pretty close to you.
Bean.
Well, that's what Kira the Wolf's defenders would like to you to believe, but that's not necessarily like what happened. Arctasia, would you like to start us off? A little bit of a quick sort of memory trip down memory lane. What you remember?
Man, I don't remember shit about him.
Yeah.
Mainly because I've never really, like, given much attention to that individual. So.
Holy Jesus. Okay, I'm not going to spend an inordinate amount of time talking about Kira the Wolf, but I do want to mention to you all, Kira the Wolf was... I was never particularly impressed with Kira the Wolf because he was kind of like Major Strawberry and Odin Wolf and Beta Eta Loda when they would, like, you know, live stream as a fursuiter, like, on camera for the enjoyment of everybody, like, you know, in the fandom, just being like, you know, gallivanting on camera. He did little skits. He rubbed shoulders with Major Strawberry, and he was actually friends with a good many people like Nasaina, Beta Eta Loda, Major Strawberry. He did collaborations with some of these guys. So you can imagine the feeling of betrayal when it's revealed later that he's a sick fuck that was basically capitalizing on the furry fandom. And he didn't want to let go of popularity. That's the crux of the issue. His rebranding is just a reminder to me that he's a desperate man clinging to whatever relevance he possibly can, like, hold on to. Because once you enjoy the Popufur lifestyle, it's hard to let go, right? Like, you want to be popular forever. And something happens. Something terrible happens. That it'd be like Sire Pimp over there being more evil than Jack Horner from Puss in Boots and just being like, wishing for, like, all the guns in the world that only he has, nobody else. Instead of magic in the world, like all the magic in the world, it's all guns and all the ammunition, more importantly. So,
I just want a private lake with a battleship in the middle of it. That's all I want.
Yeah, so you can shoot people as they like try to approach the fucking like the shoreline. You're just gonna be like,
hey, you don't gotta pay property taxes on a battleship. It's not a house.
Okay, you're gonna be the captain of this ship. Is Arctasia gonna be your first mate? What's Max gonna be doing?
Yeah, we need an engine room.
I'll keep the internet on. That's it.
What are your skills, Arctasia? What are you most proficient in?
Mm-hmm.
Can you lift heavy shit?
No.
I like that. No. All right.
It's yeah, you don't want to be on a battleship if you can't lift heavy shit.
Yeah.
No.
I think I'm more of a gutbuster mood tonight. Okay, so Kira the Wolf. Last time he came back, it was a year ago, and his whole shtick was, hey, for almost 2 to 3 years, I never got a chance to share my side of things. And, like, you know, it's a good start when, the literal message for his coming back video is, if you wasted all of your hours watching every video about me, you owe me the 15 minutes it takes to watch my video. That's entitled as fuck, yo. Like, doesn't that come off as... Like we owe him at least 15 minutes to watch his shitty ass video.
Mm-mm.
What how do you feel about that?
I mean, just like you said, like, it's no.
It's very entitled. Like, when you're trying to convince people that you're, like, you've been innocent this whole time, maybe being, like, a smug asshole isn't the best approach.
Mm-mm.
And, like, Majira Strawberry, I remember him, he very immediately noticed this, and he's just like, he made vague references at Kiro, but never explicitly like pointed the finger and said, Kiro the Wolf. He just basically said, all he wants is the views. Stop giving him the views. Stop giving him the attention. And people didn't listen. And then Kiro the Wolf, he got butthurt about that. He's just like, telling people not to watch my videos isn't very nice, Majira Strawberry. Well, it's going to be quite a revelation when people find out that you're a dirty, dirty mersuiter. It was just kind of like, can adults not be adults? Is a man not entitled to his fursuit? Is he not entitled to have sex with consenting adults in his fursuit, as long as he cleans it? Because I think that's a sin against humanity if you don't...
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right. So... I like Cyberpunk.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to have no vices, no interest. You just have to wake up every day, go to work. You better be working.
You know what? This is just gonna be one of those nights, everybody. All right. So, like, this is the fictional. Like, remember how I revealed a fictional way that I met you, Arctasia, through like a heist on the first National Day?
Of course.
For like Cyberpunk, my fictional retelling of how we met is like, you know, Cyberpunk kind of looking at me. It's like, oh, okay, this Tujo Panda feller. All right, he seems like a fine young lad. So you got a job there, young Tujo? Oh no, I'm on government disability, mister. Oh, he doesn't like that. Fuck. It's like, no job, no car, probably doesn't have any social skills if he's playing this shitty-ass game. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's just,
Oh my God.
It's going to be that kind of a night. There's like nights where I feel like going into a long tirade and having you guys react to it. There's nights I just want to like crack wise and fuck around and, you know, make vague call. Yeah, exactly, Tex Wolf.
Control these. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So
a gator tail that long would weigh like 200 pounds. That's a big old tail.
I would be crushed by this damn thing right now.
That's okay. Use it like a blanket. We're probably gonna pass out here eventually. Okay, so Kira the Wolf, he comes back and he's already starting fights with people like Beta Ada Loda, Majira Strawberry and shit like that. Now, bear in mind, this motherfucker, right? He followed his lawyer's advice, stayed silent for like 2.5 years, something like that. Came back in March 2021 to try to, or was it 2020? No, it was 21. He tried to like schmooze on back into the furry fandom and just be like, yo, I'm back, everybody. It's me. I'm Kira the Wolf. It's great. It's fantastic. And like, all he can do is basically, guess what Kira the Wolf's like strategy to all this is? You remember? I remember like it was yesterday. He's like, hey guys, the real reason that everybody is hating on me isn't because I fucked my dog to death, but it's because of cancel culture. Some rumors got way out of hand, accused me of things that I never even did. And you know what? I'm completely innocent. Everybody else is guilty. Snake Thing's the real monster here. You need to look at him. I'm completely innocent because Iranian super hackers had somehow compromised my Telegram chat account. I blame COVID on Kiro the Wolf. Oh man, Kelly Shea, that's based.
Damn.
The Ayatollah of Iran personally DDoSed him.
I could see it too.
Yeah.
Like I could see the Ayatollah.
For Iranian spy planes to block out the satellite connection to his Starlink.
What the fuck?
Well, what's funny is I could see like the Ayatollah looking all angry as he's like playing with a '90s PC that's like barely functioning, and like, you know, putting all the like commands to hack Kira the Wolf's Telegram. He's got like a serious ass mug on his face. Just be like.
It's like hacking in Fallout 3. You have to look for words that fucking rhyme.
I could think of some. Zoophile, necrophile, pedophile possibly, but that's not confirmed. All the files. He is a necrophile, by the way.
X-Files.
What about all those emails?
X-Files. Like Hillary's emails? Or are we talking about specifically just Kira the Wolf's?
Yeah, where'd they go?
Okay. So here's the problem. I typically like try to like err on the side of truth because like being honest makes everything go so much easier. If there's information that you don't want to share with somebody because they're out to get you or something like that, you don't have to say a goddamn thing. You don't have to lie like to people, you know, about things. You could just stay silent. Kira the Wolf probably should have stayed silent about the whole thing. And I'm just going to go on record here and say right here, right now, in your all's company, I kind of wanted to be wrong when I started off making those Kira the Wolf videos. I was hoping that I would be wrong, okay? Because the alternative is if we're wrong and all of this was just a psyop by various anti-furries out there that made all of this shit up, then that would have been a preferable outcome to, hey, you know the furry fandom where you hang out with various people like these two and people out there that you kind of crack wise with, have a cold one with, and have a good time with, go to furry conventions for? About 10% of those people are really monsters that like to fuck animals in the back room or the backwoods and things like that. Like, it was inconceivable to me at the time. So literally, I went into this with an open mind. I'm just like, okay, Kira the Wolf might be innocent. He might be guilty. I'm not going to know until I look through everything I can get my hands on. I found my answer later. It wasn't the answer I wanted. I would have preferred innocence. Oh, he's guilty. We do be psyoping. They call that gay ops nowadays.
The gay ops.
Yeah, they like it's mandatory that you kind of hang like a pride flag over your shoulder like a mantle. You know, it could be a big or small one. I would say like the big flag, the size of like a cape, would be like you're high up on the totem pole. If it's like a tiny flag, you're just getting started. Okay, like you're bi or something like that.
What about like a full sleeve tattoo on your arm?
Then you might as well be the general. you're like
Are
the
you like the Ayatollah?
no, nah, you're the big gay.
Are you on like that level?
You're the big gay at that point. Okay.
The
Ayatollah
of gay?
Yeah, the Ayatollah of gay. I'm pretty sure the Ayatollah of Iran is positioning a spy drone for my house with a bomb on it. But okay, so anyway, Kira the Wolf,
it's a Chinese Bible.
We'll talk about that later. Okay, so Kira the Wolf, the problem is he had people, like legitimate people, that weren't just blind stands for him. They actually were trying to defend him because they did not believe that he was actually guilty of anything. The problem with that is that he threw just about everybody under the bus that he involved with. It'd be like if I got accused of murder and you and Cyber Pimp stuck up for me in court and said, it is not in like Tujo Panda's like mode of character to commit a murder, okay? It'd be like if I'm like, it was Arctation and Cyber Pimp. They did it. I'm completely innocent. They're the ones that came up with this cockamamie bullshit idea. Like, you'd feel like you got backstabbed, like, you know, pretty fucking quick. He cast shade on Cathorix. He cast shade on, like, just about everybody. Even Kit the Soulless, who's also, like, you know, a beastophile, zoophile, bullshit, things like that. He, like, got frustrated with Kira the Wolf because Kira the Wolf's best excuse for coming back and why everything happened the way it did is because cancel culture. Because it's so easy, right? Hey, you see it every day, cancel culture. That's the real reason I got canceled. I wasn't guilty about that. No sirree. I'm perfectly innocent. I'm Kira the Wolf, baby. I just want to be the poppy fur that you all remember me as. Like, literally, I remember by, like, somebody, like, on Twitter when he made his, like, coming back video and he's, like, you know, releasing this Twitter. I have all the tweets. I read all the material just for memory's sake. Dude just like, you left me in a dark place. Why should I even bother, like, listening to you, like, you know, or trusting you? Kira the Wolf's best response to that was, you can trust me because I was in a dark place. I'm serious. That's literally what he said. Like,
that news meme where it's like, you can trust me. I'm an old man. You can believe what I say.
Because is there some proclamation where old people cannot lie? Because I'm pretty sure my like father has lied to me on a couple occasions, not many times, but a couple, and he's old.
That's how they lasted this long. Back in those days, you had to lie or you just died. That was it.
like where babies come from, and that the Santa Claus is real.
The birds and the bees and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured it out at like even before I got sex education, but we don't talk about that. All right. Here's what I don't want to put unpleasant imagery in your minds, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you all that I have seen things that I kind of wish I never saw. That's why I'm desensitized to all of this lurid details I reveal to you all, like when we're meeting up like this. You know, it's like light reading material nowadays, but it shouldn't. And there's even like a girl, she commented on the whole Kier the Wolf debacle. She actually quit because she feels like she's desensitized, and she made it a point to say her name's Shiokami. She was in on the whole Kier the Wolf thing, like covering it, not like a participant of. She quit being a commentary like type of channel because she's like, hey, it was stressing me out. I got problems in real life already. I shouldn't feel desensitized to the things that happen here on the daily because this is very serious stuff, which I agree with. But at the same time, you know, it's like a weird feeling. It's like the people on 4chan that like post videos of Guro and like, you know, beheadings and things like that. I would assume that they're desensitized to it too. Granted, they're heartless monsters over there. Compared to us, anyway. We are so much better. So much less more cringy.
We're still monsters. We just have hearts.
So a monster that's got a heart. Oh, man. Anyway.
Like real small, like this big.
Are you the fucking Grinch? Did your like heart just like turn into a rotten little apple of apathy? Like, you know, not... Okay, this is great.
Shriveled up and artificial like a maraschino cherry? Absolutely.
Delicious.
Zerkalo is in the pit of despair where he belongs. Okay, let me finish up on Kier the Wolf. I mentioned the whole rebranding because he's going to go the route of a VTuber, which he's honestly probably too fat to like fit in his actual fursuit anymore. You know, COVID living has been kind of...
Can they do that? Like when you get like something re-seamed, like when you get a suit tailored, can they like let it out? Like it seems like they can loosen.
When you say that, I'm imagining Kier the Wolf appearing at like a convention, and like when he unzips himself, his fat just suddenly like comes right out.
Yeah, because
like just like you can buy a maternity dress, can you buy like maternity fursuits? That thing.
So is that like Homer Simpson when he became really fat when he was like legally allowed to work from home? Oh, I remember he had to be like 300 plus pounds to legally work from home because it was considered a disability. So what he does is he goes to the shop and he's just like, "Hello, I need something that's going to fit." And they give him a muumuu, like a women's dress, pretty much. It's like, yeah, these are perfect for, like, you know, software developers and programmers and things like that, and Discord moderators.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Discord moderators.
Well, there was literally, like, allusions to that even back in the 90s when I watched kids' cartoon shows, where it's just kind of like, there's that meme where it's like a Discord, like, moderator. It's like, Guys, listen, you're violating the terms of service of the Discord server. I'm going to have to server ban you for 24 hours if you don't stop. Now, let me tell you why the age of consent should be 13. It just segues into that. Yeah, it literally...
Oh, man. And that's when you get a notification that says the fucking, like, your local biker gang would like to know your location.
No, that's the part where you open up your portal gun, you like shove your fucking gun through the screen, and just go like pull the trigger.
The portal gun, yo.
Just like
Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
Hey, Morty.
You know your sound just now. Like, do you guys remember Yu Hakusho? In a faceless town.
That was a good anime back in the day.
I'm by the way, for those asking. Yu Yu Hakusho, you're like this like punk gets ghostly powers because he dies or something like that. And it's like you sound like Kuwabara. And it's just like
Kuwabara.
Come on, you're a
I can
Meshi.
do it.
Like, fight fairly this time. I was only in a coma for 13 minutes.
Every like anime that has like a main antagonist and like a fucking sidekick has this relationship where it's like, hey, I'm stronger than you, but you're the main antagonist, and every time you get your ass kicked, I'm gonna be here to cheer you on, hoping that one day I'm the one that kicks your ass, like, once and for all. It's like Goku and Vegeta, fucking Yu Yu Hakusho type motherfuckers. Hell, even Beyblade.
I'm honestly thinking about Yamcha's like sidekick, the one that was like painted white and had like, you know, red dots for cheeks.
Oh, Mr. Mime.
and then back when Ego Raptor actually got off his fat lazy ass to like animate, he he made Girl Chan in Paradise, which was like a composite of all these animes.
Chaozu.
Yeah, and like, oh yeah, you're right.
Look, Vegeta, a Pokemon.
I liked it better because the nerdy guy, they go up against the boss, and it's just like, I'm gonna use my number one ability. No, yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. Yamcha was that weird desert guy that had a cat for a sidekick, arguably better than Yamcha's sidekick could ever be, or I should say Tien's sidekick could ever be. Anyway, like the nerdy guy in Girl Chan Paradise was like, he's just like, it's time for me to use my number one ability, and like the two guys on the silencers like, and by that he means his only ability. And his ability is literally just like hugging the other enemy and then self-destructing so that both of them die. Just like, so aloha snack barking their ass.
Oh my god.
Like,
the memes.
and the worst thing about that is it was directly related to Tien's sidekick. That like, what was it?
Chaozu.
Mr. Mime. I'm just gonna go with Mr. Mime. It directly correlates.
Mr. Mime with a hat.
Yeah, pretty much. It relates with that because like that was literally his only ability. At least like Tien had that weird psycho beam with a triangle and just going. What did Tien's sidekick have? Just. Anyway,
He just blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
I know, like, Tien was always like, fucking Kiko ho, and fucking blast somebody. He give him the fucking third eye of the Illuminati, bro. And light him up. Yeah.
To wrap things up about Kira the Wolf, here's what I'm aware of. So, what I'm telling you guys, it shouldn't be anything that you don't already know, but this is like memory refresh, right? From what we're aware of, the police investigation, because there were various members of the community that actively communicated with police. The problem with that is the police couldn't always tell people, yeah, this is the development of the investigation. The only law enforcement that would speak to like random furries and stuff like that, they could only talk about it after the investigation was done and over. And it was only done and over because, one, Kira the Wolf's parents refused to let the police on the property at all, which tells me that they must have suspected that Kira the Wolf would be, you know, because the property wasn't just the house. It was like there was like a camper where Kira the Wolf would he would have fun with his dog Coda and feasibly roadkill because he was in that kind of thing. Literally, the day that I released a video about Kira the Wolf, there was a guy that passive-aggressively said, yeah, I got 20 orders of like diapers for Ashley Zoe Fox and like 50 dead deer carcasses in the back for Kira the Wolf. And then like people were just like cracking shit with him. And the guy's just like, listen, I just deliver the fucking packages, all right, man? I don't ask people what they're doing with it. Okay, that's not my business. I'm just here to deliver this shit. I'm like, oh no.
Oh my god.
So all this is going on. Kier the Wolf comes back, and he uses that as a basis as to why he was proven innocent. Now, help me out here, guys. I'm not familiar with the legal process, but I do believe I watched just enough Law and Order to know how it works. It's not the job of the police to prove your innocence. It's the job of the prosecution, and that's not even proving innocence. That's just saying that you're either guilty or not guilty, right? Typically.
Yep. Yeah, but then you have the fucking Spider-Man, No Way Home, Daredevil meme where he's like, "Oh, Peter, you might have proved yourself innocent in the court of law, but you still have to worry about the court of public opinion." And you're like, "Oh no, step bro."
Oh no! All right.
And here we are being publicly opinionated.
Honestly, I have mixed feelings about the court of opinion because Kier the Wolf's story is a very good example of. There have been plenty of people that have been falsely accused with shit, right? None come readily to mind. It looked like you're raising your hand to, like, in class, and you're just like, and then, or maybe it was like correlated. It's just like, I've been falsely accused of being a sexy motherfucker. Does that count?
No, that was just.
Yeah.
That was just my USB thing doing this weird thing where.
Oh, you're
the
fine,
left
dude.
Controller just loses. And it's just like, oh, cool. Well, that's happening.
No, you're perfectly fine, dude.
Hey, it wasn't as awesome as your fucking high kick earlier, but hey,
listen. I'm gonna kick a fucking Nazi in the face, and that's gonna be the high kick. It's just like he's gonna jump onto like the car that's still moving, like in Indiana Jones, and I'm just gonna like and like kick him right in the face, and he's gonna fall right back. That's gonna be my special move. And then you guys are gonna be like, "Where's the Nazi?" And I'm like, "I kicked him off the car." And then Cyber's gonna be like, "You better double tap, boy. I don't want to make a trip back to kill his sorry ass." All right.
I need me 100 scalps.
100 scalps. All right. So, here's what I know. Yep, still do that. Different channel. Look on the affiliated channels, but he moved to West Virginia. West Virginia is one of 4 states that still, like, bestiality is completely legal. There's legislation making its way through the West Virginia House to make it illegal, but it's not quite there yet. It's just a bill right now. It has not become a law. So, problem. Isn't that just the least bit suspicious? Like, from Pennsylvania, New York to West Virginia, one of 4 states. I'm imagining when, like... And when I was reading that for the first time, I'm just thinking to myself that John Denver song where it's like, "Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Range Mountains."
I will not allow you to ruin that song.
Oh no, Kelly Shea. Okay.
What were you saying there, Artasia?
Yeah, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying I had a moment of respite from that song for a while.
I love that song.
I think that's the most fun I ever had in Fallout
bad,
76.
Like for a while there, people were just memeing the hell out of it.
Oh, definitely.
And you just hear it all the time.
Well, for me, it's the 3 birds meme where like a little like sparrow is saying "Almost heaven, West Virginia," and then like the one guy the crow on the other branch is drowning him out with Fallout New Vegas music, and it's like, "Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today," but it's all distorted, and the sparrow starts to look like sad and angry at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And then the pigeon, the trash pigeon that's got a donut, like his head sticking through the donut, and he's just like wearing the donut like a necklace. He's just like, he's smacking, he's whack. He's like singing Butcher Pete, basically, like a reference to Fallout 3. Anyway. So Kier the Wolf, his best excuse is that cancel culture is the reason for all of that, as an attempt to distance himself from the allegations. Everything's fake, everything's false, everything's fabricated. Bear in mind, what's interesting about Telegram, you can't edit your messages after 3 days pass. The chat logs themselves go years back. And The reason I kind of dislike Kit the Soulless is because Kit the Soulless, he took the HTML file. I have access to the same files he does. He tried to make it look like anybody can just get in, change the names around if they so wished. The problem with Kier the Wolf is that the events in his life about being a YouTuber and doing this, that, and the other, and his dog dying, and more importantly, his boyfriend dying from a heroin overdose, that all coincides roughly with what we know publicly about him and what he does, what he did. So, what about his rebranding? His rebranding basically sees to him saying he's going to completely ignore all the negativity because he's going to shine bright. His name's Radiance because, that's not narcissistic at all. Calling yourself Radiance, being the light bringer. Oh my god, maybe Kier the Wolf is secretly Linkara. He's the light bringer. He is literally the light bringer. Light bringer's a reference to Linkara's crappy old webcomic. But, in Kier the Wolf's case, it almost fits perfectly. He modified a Rexion model, so he looks like a shitty-ass Rexion Canid hybrid abomination. And I don't know. It the face just looks so punchable because it had that shit-eating grin on. Imagine if I'm just smiling eerily at you this whole time and I'm just talking very smugly to you. It'd be like that. You just kind of want to sock at one. And his basic message is social media should be connecting us, not dividing us. We do so much separation here in the furry fandom because, we want to feel better about ourselves at the end of the day, but it just turns into bullying. See, that looked more like you were trying to seduce me than you're trying to be smug and smarmy. Anyway, so he's going to go on down the route of, if I just pretend that everything's all right from here on out, all the hatred and negativity is just going to go right back in the shadows. Except it's not hatred and negativity. It's holding you accountable for various terrible things. Oh, that's okay, Tex Wolf. Kier the Wolf's just testing the waters. It's kind of like the Pope in Family Guy, where it's don't worry, he's a cooking up of something. So Kier the Wolf rebranded. He's voiced his intention about continuing on. You will all be happy to know that as of the last time I checked his Patreon, his 9 patron supporters have left him, I believe. Used to be 33. It went down to 9 and then nothing at all. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
They all came over to my Patreon. Pretty good. Check it out.
I mean, there are people to this day that received him with open arms. Isn't that the least bit concerning to you guys? Just oh, yeah, come on back in, man. Let's hang out like we used to.
A little bit. It's yeah, nothing bad ever happened, right? It's all good.
Oh, man. All right.
It's like everyone's sitting down Thanksgiving dinner. It's so anyway, could you pass that cranberry?
I mean, I guess it's not like Saint.
I'll pass the turkey myself, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kobold Care. I have that game actually.
Oh no, yeah, Kobold Care.
Honestly, I'm just thinking of Jerry the Goat Fucker, Saint Jerry the Goat Fucker and Saint Patricia, who specifically, would poke the soft spot of a baby's, head in. These are made up saints, by the way. Because, he was, you remember Salmonella, right? Salmonella? Okay.
Salmonella?
No. Well, his name is a riff on that. It's Sam O'Nella. Sam O'Nella.
Damn, yo.
Dude actually lives closer to me than you think. He's in Maryland. He disappeared for a while. Do you remember that creepy face reveal that Dream did back in October last year?
I think.
I dare you to read Blue Moon
Are they
Nursery.
the same person?
No. What I find funny is that Salmonella was arguably more popular than Dream could ever hope to be. And all Salmonella does is do shitty MS Paint, drawing animations. But he talks about really good topics of interest, and his voice is buttery smooth. It would be like Artasia but Artasia does what Salmonella does.
Damn, you trying to butter him up?
No, I'm just saying. Don't butter up the house cat.
I'll pay for that.
Actually, let's doll him up as like Puss from Puss in Boots. You know, get him like a little cat avatar. You know, a little like feathered hat and like the letters boots. Okay, so I was gonna make a video about this too, but I haven't had the time. I watched the Puss in Boots movie. I did it in real life as opposed to VR chat, although I did watch it in VR chat later. I watched it with my good friend Primosphere. Did you watch it? Do you have any intention of watching it?
Maybe. You have to realize, me and movies, very, very, very rare of a thing. Very rare.
So...
Maybe some year. Some year will happen.
Do you mind if we spoil it tonight?
Doesn't matter to me.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
The choices that you make tonight could have like a bearing on your experience watching it later.
That's my rebuttal.
I know for a fact that you already watched it. You thought it was awesome. And it was.
It was pretty lit.
Wait. Kaya Wu says the masterpiece is done.
You're not overly chatty, are you? They're hanging on to the edge of a cliff.
It's like, whoop. Oh, okay. Based on the frequency of how many people have seen the movie in this chat or have not, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. It's worth watching. All right. Backrooms boy is literally like giant, like speech texting me. Don't spoil the movie for me. So I'll wait until later. No, I'll talk about it later because I have plenty of things to talk.
Dies.
Shut up. I think you die.
I've been dead for years.
I'm honestly just like, okay, so Artasia, help me out here. There was a meme where there's like an industrial style door for a shed that's wide open, and there's like a pipe in there, like a stove pipe, like on its side in there, like a water heater closet pipe, and it looks like a face, like a creepy face, but the caption just reads, "Thomas the Tank Engine," and it's like puffing on a cigarette. I haven't heard that name in years. That's the mental image I got from Cyberpimp being like, I've been dead for years.
It's like a oiler, like a big old oil burner or something, or a stoker. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine. Haven't heard that name in years, kid. And it's
Guys, did you hear they hit the Pentagon? Holy fuck, did they actually hit the Pentagon? Right now?
Nah, it'd be alright.
I'm curious. Because then I could be like, you liar, you made me look.
Oh, yeah. Let me go on my totally wholesome, safe for work Twitter.
They hit the Pentagon is a catchphrase. Oh, fuck you.
Trending UFOs.
Right, UFOs. That's all we got right
They
now.
hit the Pentagon. They
That's
hit
all
the
we got.
fucking Pentagon is a catchphrase that references American Airlines Flight 77 hitting the Pentagon during the September 11, 2001 attacks. I was really young. Oh, man. Only Players did it. Yep. Nah.
Wait,
Made you look.
Apparently a fighter pilot shot down a UFO in Alaska, like, as of, like, an hour ago.
That sounds fucking lit as hell. Independence Day much?
Wait.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I heard
much. Like,
some-
that's the first meme.
I was gonna say I heard something about UFO earlier today, but
What's that?
I don't know. One got like shot down, and they're bringing it for inspection or whatever. We don't know what it is because it's a fucking UFO.
Dude, all of my Xenonaut fantasies are coming true. Because shooting down
Right, exactly.
UFOs in that game
There it
was a bitch. Yeah, good.
U.S. like Northern Command, like NORAD and shit, I guess, gave a fighter jet in the area permission to engage and shoot down a UFO.
That could mean anything.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, it could be a Chinese spy balloon. Yo, it could be the Fortnite battle bus dropping in, but never made it.
Exactly.
So,
Over Alaska, though, could Sarah Palin still see Russia from her house?
yeah.
That bitch. All right. Anyway. So, next piece of drama. I want to talk about something. Something that I covered
Coffee
in.
break. I need a coffee, bro.
Okay.
My coffee just perked.
Okay, so in that case, before we cover any drama, Artasia and I will entertain the rest of you all with half-assed furry jokes and content that as we wait for Cyberpimp to return.
Oh,
Intermission.
I'm getting my go-go juice.
Yep, he's getting his go-go
Here it
juice.
is. Hold up. Lifeblood.
Actually,
No, I have to stand up.
Yeah, you have to stand your ass up, bro. That's how it works around here.
Yeah, I gotta stand up.
Also, Artasia, I just want to say, I missed you, buddy.
Mm.
Thanks for coming back to the Dead First Meet here. It wouldn't be the
Homie, I miss you forever.
It wouldn't be the same without
a fierce-
you, Maxwell, Cyberpimp, me being here. Possibly a fifth.
Yeah, I know.
All right, everybody in the audience, if you gotta take a restroom break, go ahead and take a restroom break. Just don't be sneaking any fucking
Smoke
gin.
got him.
Yeah, just don't be sneaking any fucking gin in your fucking like water
shit,
bottle,
dude.
like Darkside Phil would. Because Darkside Phil, he pretended he was drinking some water. It was actually gin, so he's getting himself really drunk.
Hell yeah. And then he could be like, "Oh no, my chargers. Whoa, what's happening?"
Oh no. Okay.
Gets banned off YouTube.
Dude, he fapped on camera. Like he was just jerking it. And you couldn't see it, but you could tell he was doing it. And like several different companies were just like, "Yeah, we don't want your sorry ass here. Get the fuck out of here." Just like fucking if you knew that even if like the live stream hadn't started yet, even if there was like a small possibility of it happening, why would you just be like, just like that's something a furry would do?
Exactly.
Actually, I want to say that a furry did do that, but I don't know which one.
It would make the most sense. It'd provide some, dare I say, justification to the action.
Artasia.
Mind you, I say that term loosely, but
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it this way.
which is why I use the air quotes.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, like, I went to a world, and like Jesus, for whatever reason, was on stage. He was like performing, putting on a show, and what ended up happening is, like, I interrupt him, and I'm just like, "Hey, Jesus, I got a question," and it's like, "I have an answer. Does Jesus love furries?" And like Jesus slowly starts backing away. He's just like no questions, no questions, no questions. And like for whatever reason, behind the stage is like a little bush that he tries hiding behind. And it's just like, okay, that's the verification right there. Jesus does not love the furries. All right. So,
I mean, why would he?
well, we're vain, petty creatures of opportunity. Linked to the unicorn.
I think I'm gonna take a quick.
Go ahead, dude.
Something myself here too.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after these messages.
After these messages, everybody, I'm going to take a quick piss and I'm going to pour myself another drink. I'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. You're about to see some wild, crazy bullshit. Also, Kai, comment in the YouTube channel, like a link somewhere. I will look at it.
Oh damn! Oh shit! Yo, I'm back. I'm back. Yo, it's all me. I'm the life of the party. Everyone else is dead, homies. Oh yeah, too, Joe. Shake it. Look at him go, dude. Look at that little bean down there. That's all you get.
Don't you dare fucking booty tickle me, bastard.
Yep. Done died. I put it in the latest community post, can't post it here. Cujo's writhing corpse.
Well, sorry you all had to see that.
Anime when my parents walk in, and it was literally me shaking my ass over your dead corpse.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
I mean, I should have probably ran off like screen and did my business somewhere. Did Arctasia leave?
I thought I went pretty far, but apparently like my
No,
thighs
you're
were just on
yeah.
camera the entire
It looked like
time.
you looked like you were shoving your ass up to the camera and just been like, "You guys can eat it."
Well, I mean, you didn't lose any subscribers, so I guess it works.
All right,
You know.
let's talk about Arctasia behind his back. Arctasia, stupid. Nah, kid. All right.
Little baby man.
Pillow, I'm going to try to get like an animation working where, you know, it's going to be like me coming back to life is going to be like M. Bison coming back to life in that shitty, like, you know, Street Fighter movie where he just strategically falls on the console and it sends like an electronic shock to restart his heart. And it's just like, you know, and then he comes back to fight Guile.
Guile from Street Fighter, bro. Yo, I got this box of Cheez-Its, guys. Let's see what flavor. It's
Pizza flavor.
white cheddar. Let's go.
That's close enough to.
Dude, I'm the cronky champ, dude. I'm about to crunch on some crunchy. I can't open the box. I'm trying. It's very strong. Very strong box.
You're supposed to
Hold
be
up.
like a fucking mountain man, like a tanker battalion.
Dude, the entirety of the top lid of this cardboard box is sealed shut with like hot glue. Like they put like a 1/4 inch of glue on this box to protect it.
Hey guys, you might notice in the background that we are in the winter paradise here. It's snowing. There's like apparently a thunderstorm going on here. So you might want to take the opportunity to make yourselves some hot chocolate. You know, I like hot chocolate. But one brand I would advise you all to stay the fuck away from is Swiss Miss Instant Piss. Okay? Don't drink it, okay? Swiss Miss is terrible. They got worms in their products. If you pour that little chocolate shit into the tube, it's going to look like worms.
What you say, dude?
So
Swiss Miss is a banger, bro. Don't you disrespect me.
Swiss Miss Instant Piss. Swiss Miss Instant Piss.
Bro, we're fighting.
I just don't like Swiss Miss because it was always served at my like first job in the break room, and I got tired of the taste after a while for some reason. All right.
Someone got Bomb Pop Fago. Wait, you got Fago flavored Bomb Pops? How the fuck did you get that? Oh, I'm thinking of Rocket Pops. Nah, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you youngsters don't remember Rocket Pops back in the day. When the Mandela effect literally used to make you think it was a bomb pop.
A bomb pop. All right.
Yep.
Let's see. Well, honestly...
Dude, white cheddar cheese, it's so good, bro.
Oh, I bet. I want to wait until Arctasia gets back, but I do appreciate y'all being here. Oh, Kaiwu did post it. Okay, let's take a look.
Here, send it to me. I want to see.
It's on my community tab. Click new. Kaiwu, that's pretty
Community tab,
good.
Where the fuck is that?
Thank you. I'm just gonna link you guys in the main chat here. He drew a Triceratops unicorn hybrid with an M16 shooting. You're gonna love it.
I love it.
All right, here we go. So dead first meat. Here you go, guys. Take a look at that.
Where? Where'd you post it?
Dead first meat in Discord.
Where the fuck is that? Oh yeah.
You know what? I still remember the time that you drew me some bang ass fan art, and I'm definitely going to save that. There will be a world here in VR chat someday where I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it as like a framed piece of artwork. You know.
Just make it into a T-shirt. Just put it as a PNG image on a shirt that has like cloth texture or whatever. Make that shit into a cape, dude, like a war cape.
Like a war cape,
bro. Nah, you gotta be like that one guy.
I hope you don't mind, Kai.
Nah, dude. Japan built a super carrier, even though like, due to the unconditional terms of surrender of World War II, we said they can't have like big ass carriers anymore. They built a super carrier, and I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's the one where the captain went to the bow of the carrier, stood on the fucking nose of it with his boat cloak cape flowing in the fucking wind, full ass like dress white uniform as the ship was coming into port.
See, like if I had unlimited funds, I would reform. Okay, let's say hypothetically we're about to get into a world war with like all the major powers. Okay, so I would the way I would reform Japan's military specifically is that each and every ground soldier will de facto have a katana. I don't care what kind of assault rifle they get with that, but they're going to have a katana, right? Like, they will be able to have a bonsai charge if need be when they run out of ammo. Number one.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Number two, all of they need to, ramp up research and development on putting Gundams into service, okay?
Yeah, Gundams. About to say.
Yeah, so instead of you know how those launch carriers will shoot a jet off the ramp? Instead of that, it's going to be Gundams, being projectile launched into land for land conflict.
Yeah, catapult.
Yeah, and it's got to be revamped for that. So you got to do something because China's right next door and they got the 1 million man army plus, so they need something a little bit more substantial than. Although my other side is I'm starting to think, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see footage of this in the near future, but somebody actually made a half-decent game here on VR chat. And I personally love it. It's called Gun 'Em Down, where basically you get to be an allied soldier versus the Nazis. 8-on-8 action, 16 players total at the time, and it's pretty chaotic. I'm going to post this. I already gave a copy to my friends here. But this is honestly how I felt when I was playing the game, because you're going to see some wild, crazy bullshit. And the best part about it is today, just before this live stream, in fact, I had a team of basically a bunch of Lolitas, and I'm just like, yo, Jeffrey Epstein's island, go belly up or something like that? Why are you all here? And then the enemy team came over and just yo, why is your army recruiting all these lollies and fucking schoolgirls to fight your wars for you? And I'm just well, they're expandable cannon fodder. What can I say? It's fantastic. It's great. The E-boys can go die in a fire, but I got a soft spot for some of those Japanese women. They're over the age of 18, looking pretty nice in their schoolgirl outfits. Yeah. It looked like
I just need a bunch of Lady Tsunade from fucking Bleach. That's what I need. She's old, 200 years old or some shit.
Well, what I hate. Okay, so look at that link that I just posted. I literally made a reference.
What her Zanpakuto Toe is literally a cat girl, literally a big titty cat girl.
A big titty cat girl. We need more cat girls in life. Artasia, why can't you, fucking A, help a brother out, man. Get me in contact with some.
No, just.
No cat.
Yeah, we need
cat
big
girls.
titty kitties, and we figure that since you're the feline expert, the subject matter expert, that you would know where the secret stash is.
Secrets.
The 1,000-yard stare you gave me was perfect.
Okay. Let's Are you guys situated? You got your coffee? I presume that you're drinking water, which is pretty much just weak beer.
Oh, it's a soda.
Oh, okay. Weak beer. All right. So, I guess get settled, guys. We're gonna continue this live stream for a little bit. I think at least another hour and a half, like we usually do. Okay. So, listen. The next piece of drama I wanted to talk about officially. Gun 'Em Down, very good game. If you have VR chat, play it. If you don't have VR chat, before I get started on the drama part, I'm just going to go ahead and say that, motherfucker, yesterday I was playing it. You literally had people, when I play fucking gun games here in VR chat, I need to get my ass up. I need to be like standing up, like really getting into combat and shit, like bayoneting people and fucking like, taking aim, running into combat and doing shit like that. There was a guy like in a some girl bunny avatar, literally the whole time just squat sitting like this. If I had mad After Effects skills, I'd Photoshop a wheelchair that they're wheeling themselves around in, just shooting people
God.
but they're like kind of cheating because there's no effort in that. Like you're at, if someone's in the distance and they're human sized, they can just like be in your head easily. So they're just like rolling around like that. Sometimes they die. Mostly they don't. Yes, it does. But anyway.
If you want to work out, dude, literally play Boneworks or Bone Lab in the summertime with no air conditioning turned on in your room.
That sounds like you're facilitating the conditions for a heart attack, depending on the age and health. Or heat stroke. Okay. So, before we get on the drama, let's talk about recent events. So, the spy balloon. I found out about that a while ago when it first happened, and my mental image matches the meme that was disseminated, where it's like a white balloon, same type that you see at like a little girl's birthday party, but except at the end of it is like a package of Chinese food, just kind of like floating along in the wind, something that you'd see in Animal Crossing or something like that. And it's just like, wow. I like how everybody's reaction to that was like, nothing serious, nothing major. It's just a spy balloon. Like, what's so bad about that?
They're like, let's let it take pictures of the entire country before we shoot it down.
Well, I actually talked about this with a coworker at work, and like he's an older fella, so I have to tone down the like humor to match a professional work setting. But I'm just like, okay, I got an idea on how we bring that spy satellite down. You got me? Or spy balloon. We erect a big ass net, all right? Huge, the biggest net possible, like a butterfly net. And that way, we're just gonna attach it to some sort of robot arm. And when we align it just right, we're gonna like press the button, and it's gonna catch the thing, so it can analyze it, study it, and then we're gonna like get in contact with Elon Musk, ship the balloon's ass all the way to the Martian, landscape, so it can float at its leisure.
The fucking red planet.
Yeah, so it can take all the pictures it wants over there. And if maybe China will work with NASA, no, they won't. But at least it'll be far away from us.
I like the
Go ahead.
The age-old meme where China's like, we're gonna build a moon base, and then in the Destiny franchise, like the Chinese are the first people to build a moon base.
Yeah.
And NASA was like, hey guys, we suspect the moon may be hollow, and we're hearing strange noises. They're like, our seismometers are picking up strange vibrations and noises on the moon. And so the Chinese are gonna go there, build a moon base, and we're just gonna have to fight the goddamn, the Witch King or whoever the fuck.
The Witch King? Why is the Witch...
The Taken King.
Why is the Witch King
of Agbar is gonna be on the fucking moon with the fucking Decepticons and the space Nazis. They're fighting for the moon.
Wait, so they're gonna be working with the Chinese against us? Is that what I'm hearing here?
No, it's like Super Smash Brothers. It's every man for himself.
So it's just this. I kind of want to draw a mural of that. I want that like drawn by a professional artist and then framed in my room somewhere.
Like Ready Player One of
Yeah.
all of the bad people fighting for the moon.
Yes, exactly. He who controls the moon gets the power and gets to like launch missile strikes at the Earth whenever they want to. And then Elon Musk is going to be summoning his army of Gundams to like launch an invasion on the moon to take it back. No, I know what it's going to be.
Jesus.
It's going to be a flock of Twitter bluebirds. Just an infinite amount of them converging on the moon because he owns Twitter now. And for every tweet is representative of one bird going to the moon. There's strength in numbers, Arctasia. It's going to be just like EVE Online, all right? Remember those French guilds that said, We're
watching AI War.
Oui, mon ami. We have built the unstoppable ship. No, we spent thousands of dollars on this one spaceship. No one can kill us. And what ended up happening is people just kept, like, building shittier and shittier ships to press into service. And it was a question of quantity over quality, and they eventually destroyed it.
It was like building like 100,000 T-34s to fight, 1,200 Tiger tanks.
Yeah.
You're gonna win.
Oh yeah. It's like the Orkin Man going up against like 20 beehives, but because all the hives let their bees out at once, the Orkin Man dies from a heart attack from all the toxins. Yeah. A lot of bees die to like the raid and he sprays out and stuff, but it's for a worthwhile cause, right? Okay.
I'm a man. I just eat the beehive, dude.
actually, so you remind me of Stare Dad, where like the little kid comes out and he's just like, Dad, what's and like the dad's just reading the paper, so you don't see his face, but it's like, yes, son. It's like
he's got the big mustache.
Yeah, it's like there's a hornet's nest in my room. It's like, so I'm scared. And like the dad like suddenly turns around. And it's like, oh, woe is me. How could this have happened? How could I have raised such a gay son as this? Surely this can't be my fault. And the fucking dad, the dad goes into the room. He just grabs the fucking bee's nest, shoves it in his mouth, and starts chewing. And it's like, look at me, boy. Look at me. And the son is like basically mortified at this point, trying to avert his eyes, and runs out of the room in terror. And
there's honey dripping off his mustache.
Yeah. And the father's just like, I have no son.
I have no son.
Pretty much my friend Matt's, Tyler's father when he was growing up, because he had glasses and he had brown hair, so he was kind of like that son. Okay, no, what's even more fucked up is like it looked like there was this John Cena looking motherfucker who did the same exact thing, except in real life. He literally grabs a hornet's nest, and like the hornets are all stinging the shit out of his fingers, but he's not reacting to it. His eyes are deadlocked with a camera, and he's like ranting and raving about some shit, like being a hard ass. And he just, as like while like maintaining eye contact with the camera, just starts chewing on the fucking like hornet's nest. All the like hornets are attacking him and shit. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
I love it, dude.
And the reaction that people gave on Twitter was like, every second of this short just fills me with incredible unease. And I felt the same way. Okay.
I love it.
So let's tone it down, guys. Let's talk about more serious things. Although we can't be serious here because that's part of the reason I like doing these live streams. Your reactions and insight on things, Insider Pimps, just raw, just saying it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arctasia, what's your opinion about influencers and people that are supposed to influence us?
I think there could be some good in that if it's done to a beneficial effect. But most of the time I feel like it's just whatever. Like it's either something just who cares, or it's just like, why would you do this kind of thing. But I think once upon a time we called those role models, or idols or whatever. But yeah, influencers, because why not?
Arctasia, you gotta understand something. Role models ain't free. They ain't role models unless they're getting paid the big bucks to go out there and pretend like they give a damn about the rest of us, okay? Like, no, I can just finish.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of them half the time, but I know in my case, like, if I want to inspire others, I just do it, Don't ask anything in return. Just like, here, take this wisdom. This is yours now for you to do whatever you want with it. You could even file 13 that shit if you want. I don't care.
Oh, no. How about you, Cyberpimp? What are your thoughts about influencers?
People get too big for their britches from time to time. I mean, hey, cool.
That happens
Post
a lot.
your stuff, have fun. But at the end of the day, people have to understand that you're just a random, person on the internet.
Yeah.
And you're not like
XYZ.
Yeah, you're not like the end all be all, you're not like the Messiah.
Well,
and
if I remember correctly,
it's really unhealthy to establish this like God complex.
Yeah, that's what happened to John Lennon. Yeah, that's what happened to John Lennon when he was big on the Beatles.
Yeah, and then he got his top popped.
Well, I prefer Family Guy's interpretation where they're like showing off that album for the new Beatles CD, or like not CD, it was the new record, and it's like, what do you guys think of the new album cover? And they're all like congratulating it, and Ringo's just like, it's good, but it's gonna look terrible when it's shrunken down to the size of a CD. And it's like, wait, Ringo, are you from the future? Yeah, and I outlived two of you. And it's like, okay, you gotta tell us. It's like, all right, I'll tell you, but you gotta do that song, the one with the octopussy. And like George Harrison and John Lennon are both like having an argument, and it's just like, not really an argument. It's just like, okay, tell me, but I'm gonna smoke 1,000 cigarettes first. And John Lennon's just like, yeah, and I'm going to randomly walk in and out of my, New York apartment for no inexplicable reason. That's how he got shot.
Oh my god.
God.
Yeah, but like, did he actually say it's like, hey, it's going to look terrible shrunken down to this precise size?
No, it was...
He predicted the sizing of a CD case?
Well, he already knew because he was, quote-unquote, from the future in that skit.
No, but I'm saying in real life.
Oh, no, he didn't predict that. It didn't really happen. It's just Family Guy,
Okay.
It's just bullshit that they come up with.
They didn't predict, laser discs?
No. That would have been awesome if they did, but no. Let's go ahead and see.
Fucking laser discs.
Tex Wolf says, not a problem unless they're spreading harmful stuff. Well...
Not a big problem.
Yeah. What if they're spreading harmful...
Influencers could influence me with, what's something I like?
Gundam.
Banana splits. If you buy me a banana split, I'll believe what you tell me.
That's strangely specific. Go ahead, Octasia.
But that's like the big thing, these days. I kind of mockingly call this the misinformation age because that's exactly what it is. There's just a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to sort through it sometimes. And you got people that are just kind of sitting there acting like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Just spread a bunch of misinformation just because they seem like they know what they're talking about, Put on a good show, basically,
That's problematic because... Okay, so rather than relay factual information, things that can be empirically reviewed or determined, clarifying that you're speculating on something that no one could legitimately have the correct answer of. I see too many people that once they get a narrative, they establish that narrative, and it's not until enough people figure out, okay, this is bullshit, Like, that's why call-out culture exists. And, like, people complain call-out culture's terrible, cancel culture's terrible. It exists because, like, for every action, there must be an equal or greater reaction to whatever happens, you know? None of this happens in a vacuum. I don't go over to Cyberpimp, push him, and he just goes down. Like, Cyberpimp's not just going to be like brush himself off and like pretend it never happened. He's probably going to push me back or shoot me. One of the two.
I mean, there has been that shooting thing going on with him this evening, so yeah.
Well, that's because Cyberpimp's basically a cowboy.
Tell you what, I peel that muffin cap back blue.
Okay. So there. Oh man, I want a blueberry muffin right now. But anyway.
All right. Yeah.
There is an influencer out there that I covered a while back during the Keffels kerfluffle. Keffels is a transgender girl that wanted to take down Kiwi farms as her latest and greatest accomplishment. Her two greatest accomplishments up to that point was getting Destiny banned and then Lauren Southern's banned. Lauren Southern is also Canadian. She's a conservative, though. Destiny is just a guy that's a commentary guy, and he got involved with Keffels, and Keffels basically got him banned because she was basically using her transgender status as a way to, one, legitimize her bad behavior, two, add, like, you know, sort of like ammunition against Destiny, saying that he was transphobic, that he was bigoted, that he was this, that, and the other, when the reality is Destiny wasn't any of those things. But you can't get in the way of narrative, because the reason that's so important for Keffels to perpetuate the ideology that she is, like, you know, an icon for transgender people out there is because she gets money from that. People were donating lots and lots of money to her because she was transgender. They rallied behind her, and she basically, it became less about being an icon for the cause and having herself her own little private army that she, whenever she complained about something, she, like, her fans would go over and immediately tear it down. You know what I mean? That was the problem with her. Here's the problem. Oh, yes. Okay. Nick Fuentes, if I remember correctly, Nick Fuentes, somebody in chat like mentioned Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes was
really familiar.
He's a white supremacist. He was a white supremacist. That added ammunition to Keffels', if I recall correctly, Nick Fuentes was like a white supremacist. Still is. All right.
When did this dude exist?
He still exists. He never went away.
What?
He's just out there. Let me look this shit up. Sorry, I gotta refresh my memory on this shit because
where do these people exist?
The dark side of the moon. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that Nazi.
Well, we better send Optimus Prime up there, dude. He's looking for an Allspark. Dude, that's how you get rid of the Nazis. You just tell Optimus Prime that they got the Allspark.
Yes.
All over.
Yes, he is a white supremacist political commentary channel thing. A former YouTuber. His channel was nuked. Why does he look like an old... Oh, wait. From this picture makes him look like an old man, but he also looks like a young man? I don't get it. He looks worse than me. Okay, anyway. Yes, you're absolutely right, Hungry Moose. He got involved with Nick Fuentes, and once you do that, it's kind of like getting involved with Milo Yiannopoulos. Remember Milo Yiannopoulos? Remember how he got too big for his britches, and then he was begging for cash by the end of it?
That sounds really familiar. Who the fuck is Milo?
Milo was a gay conservative that tried to go to MFF, but MFF said, we don't want you.
Yeah.
So that went nowhere. Oh, and the furry fandom actually made him his own persona.
Why couldn't he just went as a Shiloh Big Topolis?
Because they already knew what he looked like. He was not allowed to enter the premises at all. Like, MFF was just like, yeah, we already saw what you want to do, and we don't want it. So, loot. Anyway, Keffels. We went back to Keffels. Keffels is basically a modern-day grifter. I used to think they were somewhat well-versed in strategy, but I'm convinced they're just an idiot. They just got lucky. Here's the problem. They've engaged in hypocrisy. Like, they accuse others of doing to her as she does to other people. It would be like me punching Artasia in the face repeatedly and saying, stop fucking attacking me! and like Artasia's doing nothing, and I'm just like acting like, why are you being so violent? And I'm like wailing on you. It'd be like that. But anyway, as far as like, you know, Keffels like making her rise to power, a lot of furries actually rally behind Keffels. The problem with Keffels is an absolute trash tier person. They are not a good person. Hungry Moose, I will completely concede with you that Kiwi Farms is a trash website. However, arguably, I would say that Kiwi Farms, at best, at worst, it's a bunch of cringe lords basically like pointing and laughing at people on the internet for their own amusement. At worst, you get into the territory of some of the people there are kind of like from 4chan poll. 4chan, in case you weren't aware, they're people that you probably don't want to associate with, we being the furries that we are. Although I have heard that a lot of furries have sort of infiltrated 4chan, so it's... make of that what you will. Various 4chaners have turned into furries, and various former furries have become 4chaners. Who knew? It's crazy.
Cross-contamination, yeah.
Well, the subversive influences of the fandom are far and wide, you know? It's almost as if I operate here specifically to indoctrinate you all in furry culture. Nah, I kid. Fucking with you all. But in all reality, Kiwi Farms, I went there a couple of times for just, like, you know, studying up on various lolcows, people that engage in bad behavior. Namely, Kira the Wolf. Like, that was the first time I ever got introduced to Kiwi Farms, and I didn't know what to make of it. The problem is that a lot of Kiwi farmers are kind of paranoid. Like, when they first went down, they basically revealed that they feel like there's a transgender, what would you say, hegemony that's threatening to overtake the internet. And, like, I get what they're saying. Some transgender people are basically using the fact that they're transgender as a license to commit wrongdoing. The problem with that is, like, you know, you can't make that claim the way that they were. They were doing it like a conspiracy theory, paranoia bullshit thing. And it's just like, do you have any idea how unhinged you sound right now? Like, that would be like me saying that George W. Bush did, like the Titanic. He sunk the Titanic. Just his mere existence has sunk the Titanic. I don't know how.
Dude, he was the iceberg. I was there.
I want to edit like George W. Bush's head as the iceberg and the Titanic crashing into it. I mean,
so like,
good.
I always had this like weird headcanon theory, like completely unrelated, but the whole like Titanic sinking was a time traveler because like so much shit went wrong with the Titanic for it to have just like hit the iceberg and sank. Okay, there was like number one, the captain's like, all right, hey you two junior navigators, you're gonna fucking steer the ship. I'm gonna go sleep. Okay, stay course. Wake me up if you need anything. Well, the captain went to his quarters.
Yeah.
The radio to the captain's quarters didn't work. So even if they attempted to call him, he would have never fucking heard it. The binoculars that were supposed to have been in the wheelhouse for the fucking dude up in the crow's nest or out on the bow to spot for icebergs were not there. The binoculars were missing.
So this is shaping up to be like...
yeah,
like
there wasn't as many
Murphy's Law
boats because the HMS or the people that like chartered the Titanic said they looked gaudy and made the ship look unclean, so they got rid of most of the lifeboats.
Damn.
And the Titanic, there was a big coal workers like strike in England at the time, so they bought as much coal as they possibly could to put on the Titanic because they didn't know when they'd go back for the round trip if they'd have enough coal, like if there'd be enough coal in the country to power the ship again for another trip. They had no idea.
Could you imagine if
the Titanic, it was overladen with coal. They had it packed to the fucking gills with coal, and a fire broke out in the front right portion of the fucking, in the Titanic where it hit the iceberg. So when they were loading passengers onto the ship, they actually had the ship deliberately parked or you know, like docked 180 degrees, so people couldn't see the fresh paint on the side of the ship where there was a fire.
Damn.
And the fire weakened the hull that hit the fucking iceberg. So too much shit went wrong with the Titanic for it to have just been like, oh, we hit an iceberg and sank. No, like, I definitely feel like a time traveler went back in time, unionized all the coal miners, and they said, yeah, we're not mining no more. And then he like whispered in the shareholders' ear, like, hey guys, buy all the fucking coal. They're gonna go on strike tomorrow. So they bought all the coal, and then he whispered to another person, hey, all those lifeboats look really fucking ugly, plus they're stained the wrong color. Oh yeah, you're right, get rid of them fucking lifeboats. Took the binoculars, threw them overboard, cut the fucking wire to the captain's, like,
Jesus
I imagine
Christ.
it was like a time traveler was like, all right, I'm gonna sink this motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. What is this unholy, like, fucking, like, conspiracy against the Titanic? Like, you know, that's just, like, imagine being, like, stranded out there. Like, you have just enough coal to make the trip from England to the United States, but, like, when you leave the U.S., you just, like, run out of coal midway back, and you're just stuck there out, like, drifting. Yeah. Oh, by the way, fun fact, in, like, World War II, I don't think it was the Yamamoto, but, the Yamato, but it was one of the Japanese cruisers. They packed just enough diesel fuel or whatever, like, fuel is required to, like, power a ship. They gave it just enough to reach the battlefield. After that, they were instructed to abandon ship, like, if they won or lost the battle. So it's just like, you know, hey, we hope the battle goes great, but in case you can't, you know, like, come back, just get to the battlefield, do the battle, and you're probably going to run out of fuel by that point. Just abandon ship. Come on back. You know, we need you on the home islands. Stage of defense. Oh, man. Anyway. Keffels thinks, like, they're untouchable. That's how they acted for a while. Because they got Destiny, who had a lot of followers. Like, he was a big YouTuber. Let me see how many, like, followers Destiny actually has right now. Because, fucking A. When I thought Destiny the first time, he has got 622,000 subscribers. So a good chunk of change right there. He got banned like for a little while, and Lauren Southern has him on Twitch for like a little like live stream to talk about the incident. Problem, because Destiny is banned like on Twitch, Lauren is breaking the terms of service by having somebody that's banned on her channel. You're not allowed to do that because that's considered ban evasion. When that happens, Lauren Southern gets banned, like suspended or whatever you want to call it. And Keffels got a big head after that and was like rallying all this support. The whole reason that she hates Kiwi Farms is because Kiwi Farms has been like recording as much information about her since she was male. And here's the problem: like she was like an angry incel. Like back in the day, like just an angry incel. I've seen pictures before and after. They already exhibited some like concerning qualities before they became female, you know, like various character traits that sort of carried over. Even Keffels as a female, they hate TERFs. So that's another topic of interest we're going to talk about a little later. J.K. Rowling, you know, it's like that Family Guy skit where all the little kiddies are trying to go to Hogwarts, and you got the judging hat that basically says, "Ah, yes, this one goes to Hufflepuff. I'd like to see the next boy or girl. No other genders need apply here. Just boy or girl." And like the girl that's wearing the hat, she's like, "Wait, what?" It's like, nothing. Next boy or girl, please." Just, hey, Vulpus. Anyway, Keffels, right? They became trans, and supposedly, here's what the story goes. Her father gets cancer and dies. But he's got like a little bit of a fortune, and he leaves his inheritance to her to continue with the transgender hormonal therapy and like the operation. Because that's pretty costly, right? like to make the transition fully, that's a lot of years of transitioning and having the money to be able to afford it. That's a story. We don't know one way or the other. Whichever the case, Keffels got the money, and that's the route she went with it. People have speculated that she lied to her father on his deathbed. It's entirely possible, but I don't see any evidence of this. The reason people speculate that is because she's a very duplicitous person, right? She will put on a sob story to make you like give money to her. That's what she's been doing. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the fun part. Kiwi Farms has her entire docs on record, has her past history on record, has everything about her on record. Keffels decides to declare war against Kiwi Farms and is acting like, hey, if you all want to support free internet, pleasant internet, and like lollipops and sunshine and rainbows for all, then you're going to donate to me because I'm going to start a personal war against Kiwi Farms. Couldn't have anything to do with the fact that they're bad people, like, or that I'm a bad person myself going after arguably shitty people, but I'm worse than they are because, you know, the Kiwi farmers, they're not hypocrites, generally speaking. They're shitty people, don't get me wrong, but they're not like ripping people off like 9 Ways to Sunday. They're very transparent about their true intentions, you know? So this is before all that. She gets doxxed. She gets swatted. It's very unclear who actually swatted her, and like Kiwi Farms wasn't involved with that at all, by the way. Like, Kiwi Farms are not the people officially that, like, doxed her. There's a worse website out there that exists that's, like, truly trying to fuck people's lives up. The Kiwi Farmers, they just document people and laugh at them behind their back. Or to their face, depends on. And they use the N-word. They're transphobic. They're this, that, and the other. They're racist. They use the N-word every other word. They're bad people. But anyway. She gets doxxed by this terrible website, and what ends up happening is, she goes on the run. She gets swatted. She claims that, like, guns were literally pointed at her. Like, the Canadian police burst in her house, were pointing assault rifles at her, and, like, she was fearing for her life. What actually happened is the Canadian police just went in her house and knocked on the door. That's what really happened. So because it's revealed that she's, like, you know, on the run, she runs off to Ireland to, like, hide from the heat. Now, here's the problem. She doesn't turn off her location. In fact, she keeps turning on her location to be found out by anybody, you know? As if she wants to be doxxed again, or, like, swatted again, I should say. She wants people online to know where she is at all times, and she keeps making status updates, which is very suspicious. I tell you that because, that being stated, she was basically putting out bait to try to have it happen again. Now, I'd imagine getting swatted is very unpleasant. You know, you don't want to, like, risk that because people burst in your house. They could shoot you on accident, although most police departments are wise to that nowadays because it happens so many times. But in Keffels' case, when she comes back, like, weeks later, she's like, it's on like Donkey Kong. Because she sets her sights on Kiwi Farms, and she's like, I'm taking down that fucking website. So she starts a campaign. People throw money at her. All of these transgender people that hate Kiwi Farms because it is what it is, you know, a site where they are transphobic, racist, blah-de-blah-de-blah. They're on board for it. And a lot of furries are just de facto on board for it. They have no idea how much of a bitch that, like, you know, Keffels is. Because, like, the same things that she complains about happening on the daily, she does, like, the same thing. She will dox people, like, she will threaten people. She will try to blackmail people because it's convenient for her to do so. Her reputation has to be preserved. Now, for a while there, she was, like, high on the hog, having a good time, like, you know, acting like she's a real OG. But just like Cyber said, she got too big for her britches, okay? And she did a lot of weird, cringy things along the way, too. She was like a dominatrix, like, you know, that would fart in your face for, like, you know, dollars or dollary dues and things like that. Really embarrassing things. The most problematic thing that she did And this is something that a friend of mine actually asked me about personally. They're just like, Tujo, I have never even considered the term pink pilling before. Pink pilling. She seemed to get off to the idea of making people go transgender. Mr. Medicare coined the term troonshine, you know? Troon is a derogatory term that Kiwi farmers use in reference to younger transgender people. It's like a combination of transgender and goon. But like troonshine, she was literally offering people cockamamie bullshit, mixes and things like that. Ways that you can get estrogen in your body to like facilitate like the transition from male to female. But she ran a place called Catboy Ranch. The problem with Catboy Ranch is that not all the people that were in the ranch were necessarily of age. Like the youngest being 14, 15, well underneath the age of 18. So I tell you that because she's had a little bit of a history. Now, whether or not she was knowledgeable of the whole thing, I would say it's a safe bet because there was like a system where you would get like a collar if you were like a good boy, a good cat boy, and things like that. But she definitely seemed to have an interest in making more people transgender. Now, I can't really say, hey, do you have body dysmorphia? Okay, you're trans. It's a lot more complex than that, all right? Really something that a doctor or a psychologist should assess you for and be like, okay, it would appear to me that you have body dysmorphia, and if you'd like to, be your desired, gender, these are the things that you should do. You should go on a regimen of estrogen for this many years, 3 years, at this dosage. With the troonshine, quote unquote, the bathtub gin, mixes of it, estrogen, the formula is just available online. Well, Mr. Medicare had a field day when he looked at that because he's just like, yeah, man, she's mixing the fucking, moonshine in the back right now. It's like the fucking troonshine. All these... No. That was Joe Biden's plan all along to turn
spice and everything nice. But Professor Ukrainian accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, and that's internet bullshit.
Okay.
My source is I made it the fuck up.
No, you got to be like Senator Armstrong. I pulled it right out of my ass. Okay. So Keffels did all this, and she moves on. All right. Literally, people were asking her, "Aren't you the same chick that was running the Catboy Ranch?" And it was just kind of like, "Catboy Ranch, D's nuts, yo." She clearly didn't take any responsibility for her her actions. Okay, but anyway, saying all of that, to her credit, these were all people that willingly came to her, but she seemed to have some desirable outcome from pink pilling people. That was the issue. The only time it became a real issue is because the people that came to her were underage in some cases. They were all over the place. It was 14, 15, 16, 17. That's the no-go zone. But then you had people that were in there, after that, 19, 20, 21, 22. Not really much older than that. Anyway, whatever. So she comes back from Ireland. She basically says, hey, I got doxxed, I got swatted, I did all this other stuff, and it's time for payback. So I already told you that she swept all these people on board to just go ahead and jump on board. Let's go ahead and take Kiwi Farms down. Kiwi Farms, they have a service provider called Cloudflare, and Cloudflare is basically protecting from DDoS protection. All the transgender, activists that were convinced by Keffels that this was a holy war against Kiwi Farms. I don't really give a shit about whether Kiwi Farms goes down or not. If it went down tomorrow, I would just be like, okay, you were playing with fire, you knew you were playing with fire, you fuck with the wrong people. I do think it's kind of shitty because I think that, regardless of what the fuck you're saying, as long as you're not, staging attacks on people or promoting, hate and stuff like that, you have, freedom of speech. There are places for these to perform. And, the dangerous thing is if you keep shutting these, spaces down, people are just going to go underground. Then you're going to see, this kind of like peak over the years as far as the hatred goes. Anyway, whatever. Discussion for I know Matt, but we're not quite there yet. So, like Cloudflare, right? They're supposed to be providing like DDoS protection. All the people attacking Kiwi farms, they want Cloudflare to drop Kiwi farms as a service provider so that they can do DDoS attacks on Kiwi farms without something in the way, you know? At first, Cloudflare says, hey, Kiwi Farms hasn't done anything really to merit us dropping them as a client. So, like, and this would also be a very bad decision commercially because we want to make money and, like, we don't want to jeopardize our customers. We want to, like, be there as a service provider for everybody involved. This is when people start making alternate accounts on the Kiwi Farms and saying very concerning things to make the Kiwi farmers look worse than they already do. You know, like threats of violence, promoting suicide, things like that. Some of the claims were very suspicious. But anyway, what ends up happening is Cloudflare, because of threats to human life, drops Kiwi Farms as a service provider. Like, casts them off to the wind. And it's really through the efforts of Null or Joshua Moon, whichever you prefer. Null is the head of the site. He seems like a pretty stand-up guy, all things considered, for being a Kiwi farmer. But he goes through hell ensuring that his site has the right securities involved, like protecting itself from DDoS protection. It briefly became a Russian, like address, but that went away. You know, they had to find another service provider that was going to provide DDoS protection. He went through hell and back to like make sure that his baby was like up and running again, you know? And I recognize some Kiwi farmers because I see them often in threads that I look at. But here's the catch-22. These are empirically racist people. At least they act like they don't give a fuck about what they're talking about, you know? They have this callous disregard for the sanctity of like you and I, you know? It's almost like their hearts have been reduced to the size of like a rotten little apple of cynicism. But it's so much worse than that. Because like every post they make is just bile, like, you know, transmitted out. So I won't defend them like on a categorical level, but do they have the right to exist? Yeah. I found Keffels' attempt to take them down completely duplicitous and just like not very disingenuous. She's painting it like a moral crusade of decency on the World Wide Web, when really she just wants to take out the website that has all of her dirty details like inlaid in these threads. That's the TLDR here. But granted, like, if I'm going to make an issue about that, then like why don't I make an issue about the fact that she's always like, you know, lying about just about everything? Why did she have to lie about being like swatted, like having guns pointed in her face? That never happened. It was just a knock on the door. Make sure everybody was okay in the house. Anyway, all that to say, there are no heroes in this story. I'm just going to go ahead and say, except maybe Null. But he's kind of like the provider for all these shitty people to have like a platform to exist on, you know? So I don't know. Arguably Null, I would say. Like he's the hero here, but everybody else, they're all villains in one way, shape, or form. But you'll be happy to know that more recently, Keffels is being actively canceled on Twitter right now because she said the R word. And if you're curious as to what the R word is, it's retarded. There, I said it. You want to cancel me now? Cancel me now. I don't care, but I will not give up that word.
Goodness, this feels so upset right now that you would mention such a horrific word.
Well, I mean, I grew up with that word, and it's like, what are you, retarded? And then when it turns out you were, well... Anyway.
Like, damn, dude, I'm sorry for your loss.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway. She's...
I'm just gonna be 100, like, yo...
Oh, I remember.
The sword. I love that word.
No. Worse. She said, what happened was, like, she needed a retard break. That's literally what she said.
Oh, a retard break?
Oh
yes. Because
what does that mean?
Because people were subjecting her to retarded bullshit. The reason
Oh shit. Burp.
The reason I say that is because the important thing is, like, you know, she says this on like live stream, and the problem with that is she cultivated an audience that was specifically not for like either that word or racism or transphobia or being like this, that, and the other. You gotta know your audience, and for her to just brazenly say that on live stream in the face of your fans, like, it's just like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Maybe don't put on a mask to draw in an audience that you're going to be disingenuous about.
I honestly think that I sympathize with Keffels on one thing. I think she's just a bitter, unhappy person, you know, regardless of her being trans or this, that, and the other. I feel like she's just an unhappy person that wanted to cultivate an audience, get some money on the platform, got a little bit too much of a big head for, like, too big for her britches, and made some bad choices along the way. She got lucky a couple of times, but that luck's going to run out real fast. You can't rely on luck for very long. You have to be a little bit more conscious of who you're talking to, what you're talking about, this, that, and the other, whatever. Okay. Perfect segue, but let's take a quick break. Remember our good pal, Christian Weston Chandler?
Mm-hmm. How could we not?
I love Christian, but not in a gay way. In an extreme gay way.
No, big gay, I seen it. Dude, I seen the secret exclusive elusive gift art that you gave them, dude. It was wild.
Okay, all right, so Christian, not a really big update, but there was a Redditor that claimed that he actually staged a visit to Christian while in jail. Like, just not too long ago. I'm calling bullshit. All right? I'm calling bullshit. Like, I saw that, I was about to make a video, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, that would be under the presumption that anybody can just go ahead and walk on down to their local jail down in Virginia and just be like, hey, I want to visit Christian Weston Chandler. Number one, Christian has to say yes to you visiting them. Number two, the jail and everybody involved are already fully aware that Christian is like they're a lol cow, okay? I'm sorry to say. They're a lol cow. And I say that to you all is because people are going to fuck with Christian, either through the mail. Like, they read all of his letters. Like, I know for a fact that the jail has read all the letters coming in and going out. So for somebody to just kind of walk over and just be like, you know, hey, I visited Christian, and this is what I saw, and blah, 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 blah. It feels like the descriptions are more like what we all like think is going on with Christian in jail. Like, they describe Christian as zombie-like and unhealthy. I have seen an after picture of Christian. Like, Christian is much skinnier now than they were when they came in. I would argue that the prison food
will do that to you.
Well, I would say they're getting healthier. Like, you know, I was always of the opinion that Christian, like, years of subjecting their body to preservatives, that they've eaten so many preservatives, they have absorbed the preservatives into their body, okay? That's why when they cut a hole in their taint, the infection had nowhere to go. Like, there was no real flesh to, like, infect beyond that point. So it just kind of died there. So I believe that Christian's probably going to live forever. They are immortal.
Damn.
Now
waste of biomass.
Maybe.
Right.
I legitimately sympathize with Christian once upon a time, but there's a lot of like little things I know about them that repulse me. It's why when I saw them at like Magfest, I saw them at Magfest in real life. I maintain a 50-foot minimum distance. They seemed like they were in a hurry to go somewhere anyway, so moving pretty fast for Christian, because like Christian, he eats McDonald's, Hungry Man dinners, like drinks 2 liters bottles of soda all in a day. Thousands upon thousands of calories. They're not very healthy, or at least they weren't. Okay, so here's the nature of the visit. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but there's this guy called I want to call him Ken Kringle, but I know that's not right.
Ken Kringle.
No. No. There's this guy called
smoking cigarette.
Oh, Kangle. No.
In years.
Kenneth Kangles. They just call him Kangles. Kenneth Engels or whatever. He's one of Christian's few quote unquote supporters because like he's like part of those no bully campaign type of people, and he legitimately tried to help Christian. The problem with Christian is Christian at this point is beyond help. For all intents and purposes. If you try to help Christian today by giving them money, Christian's just going to take the money and buy toys with it. That's called enabling. Mm-hmm. They need a solid like lesson on this is how you pay for bills. This is how you save for education. But Christian has made the argument that he'll never be able to get a job because of all the damage that the trolls did to his reputation, or her reputation, I should say now. So yeah, but like, how likely do you think of this? Because like, no joke, guys, I literally had a friend who was asking me about Christian. He's like, wait, didn't Christian escape prison briefly and then got caught again? I'm like, that never happened. That literally fucking never happened. Because there's a couple of videos of like a fat guy that's naked getting tased, and then a guy that's like on roller skates, like skating down the road being chased by cops. And and they look like, if you kind of squinted, you could imagine that this is Christian. My favorite meme is Drake and Josh wearing like police hats, and they're in the bathroom. It's like, hey Josh, where's? Or it's like, hey Drake, where's Christian right now? Where'd he go? And like the bathroom's empty. What people thought happened is that at the courthouse, when Christian was having a hearing, he jumped out of the bathroom window, which, if that happened, I would imagine that he would have broken a leg. I don't think it was on ground level. You know? So, but we can all kind of like pretend, right? Christian escaped jail. They went back to their own dimension, Quickville, to stage an attack on Equestria to conquer it. The dimensional merge is happening actively as we speak. Like someday we are all going to wake up. I'm going to look like this. Artasia's going to look like that. Cyberpimp's going to look like that. And we're going to be riding the battle bus, like, you know, raining hellfire down upon our enemies. It's going to happen one of these days. Anyway. Okay. The Keffels thing, she's actively getting canceled right now. And I kind of broached the subject earlier. I just want to mention it before we run out of time here. What was it, like 30 more minutes, something like that? So, you know that new Wizards game, right? That's kind of raised a little bit of a ruckus on Twitter and in various other forms of social media. People are like absolutely coming out of the woodwork to advise people, do not buy this game. Do not support J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is a horrible person. Wait, let's see. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, you can only visit an inmate if they have placed you on their visiting list and you have been cleared by the Board of Police, I think. Yeah, exactly. I don't think anybody legitimately like saw Christian, and I feel like that was a hoax unless they actually happened. But, you know, I highly doubt Chris would fit.
Nick Nicholson, number 9 News.
Nick Nicholson? Hey, Beckhorn Stores. I haven't seen you for a long time. I highly doubt Chris would fit through a jail bathroom window unless it was a big one. That's the thing. Could you imagine? You're like, maybe we're at like the courthouse and we're like waiting for our time at the bench. Maybe we're talking to our lawyer out in the waiting area, and then out the window you see a big fat guy jump out the window and like hit the fucking like bushes outside.
It'll be less jump than squeezed.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, because I posted that earlier, I'm gonna post you something else. Let's see if I can find it again. Christian escapes jail.
Not me.
My friend actually believed that it
Yeah,
happened.
If you're the warden of the jail and someone like that escapes, you should just, I don't know.
You should just what?
Death sentence.
Oh man, no, that was a really. Let me see if this is the one. If I can't find it, I will just. Oh, come on. Well, this is tangentially related.
Gallery,
I found it.
play on.
Okay, skip to like halfway in the video. I'm just gonna timestamp this bitch. Okay. Wait. There we go. All right, this is like the reason why people claimed that this happened. I posted in chat. Look at it at your own peril. I am not responsible for any flashbacks or trauma or terror that you might experience looking at that. Zap to the extreme. There's one more. So if you're wondering what you're looking at, it should show somebody that vaguely looks like Christian. Now this one's a little bit different. This shows Christian getting possibly tased by the cops. It's naked. I apologize. Empress Teresa would be if Christian got Tetsuo powers. That's my belief. Okay. So, this is the reason why Christian, or at least people speculated that Christian had escaped jail somehow, is because of those two videos, because it vaguely looks like Christian, or Christine if you prefer. If Chris escapes your prison, that's on you. You just have to game end yourself like the warden. The end of Shawshank Redemption? Oh no. We got a savage audience tonight. I thought, like, Sexy Rexy was bad. But yeah, those two videos, right? That's why my friend thought that Christian had escaped jail, which never happened. Anyway, we can talk about Christian till the cows come home. Let's at least sort of wrap up like with some other things. So, J.K. Rowling, noted TERF, right? Any transgender people in the audience would like to comment on J.K. Rowling because she was very public and vocal about what she believed. And when that happened, she kind of became a enemy of the LGBTQ community, you know? And it's just kind of like, I don't know. She's it's weird to me because when I think of J.K. Rowling, I think of all those times I read the first 4 Harry Potter books when I was a kid. And then I stopped reading after that. I was like, I got it out of my system. You know, Harry Potter was like one of those book series I read. I had no idea when I grew to be an adult what kind of a person that J.K. Rowling would be. As an adult, various like trans friends that I have are all telling me that J.K. Rowling is this horrible TERF. TERF stands for like trans exclusionary radical female. I think that's what it stands for, right? Sound familiar to you guys? Okay.
Maybe.
So, Harry Potter the game.
Perhaps.
Harry Potter the game comes out. And just like Todd Howard, you can be the wizard or witch that you want to be. You can go out there and start dabbling in your razzle-dazzle to do magic. And you can do this, that, and the other. Well, unfortunately, various other people are like coming out of the woodwork to cancel the game. Don't buy this game. Do not support this shitty-ass product. It is, like, transphobic, you know, might be racist. And
who's the publisher of the game? Like Warner Brothers or Disney or who's...
That's a damn good question. Let's look at this.
I actually don't know who published that one.
Let's see. Wizard game. I'm just going to call it the Wizard game.
Like, who currently owns the rights to Harry Potter? Like, obviously J.K. Rowling, but, like...
Wasn't Hogwarts Legacy was the name?
Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy. Okay. I'm
Is
not...
it EA?
I wouldn't be surprised. It is Niantic. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Wait.
Okay, I figured. Warner Brothers is still the reason why fucking the first Fear game costs $50 on Steam.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, let me take a look at this. Are you fucking serious? There's no... Okay, I don't want to click on their main website. I have no interest in that. Okay. Yeah, Warner Brothers games. The developer was Avalanche Software. I don't know how I feel about it because I can't really give like that much of a fuck about the game itself. I mean, like, hey, cool wizards and magic and bullshit.
Are in the game, are you just a young child wizard, like a young wizard learning wizard shit?
That's basically what I saw.
Because like, I know nothing about it other than that it's Harry Potter and it just came out. But like,
yeah,
are you reliving like Harry Potter's like first couple years in Hogwarts just as your own wizard or warlock or witch?
Yeah, it's like a fantasy roleplay game. It literally says,
do you like progressively age?
I think so.
I don't imagine you're not going to become a master wizard.
No,
by, like the completion of the game.
No, you're going to pull a Star Wars and become a master wizard after the first hour of gameplay. No,
I'm not gonna lie. If I was in the Harry Potter universe and like Voldemort came up to me, I'd be like, "Yo, bro, I don't know who the fuck Harry Potter is. Never heard that. Like, never met the guy. Never heard of his name. I'll help you look for him though. Here's the yearbook."
Actually, I prefer Billy and Mandy's like interpretation where they just called him Moldy Mort. And every time they said Moldy Mort, something bad would happen, and the lead character kept yelling at like Billy to like stop saying. It's like, stop saying that, and like the train they're riding folds in on itself because he says Moldy Mort.
Yep.
Anyway, so J.K. Rowling is actively being shat on, and the game's being actively being shat on, but surprisingly, the game sales are not being impacted by this transgender activism. And what's crazy?
When you get woke, you go broke.
Well, that is an opinion you can hold. Anyway, what I was gonna say was their strategy now, because the like public outrage on social media didn't really convince people. Hey, like I fully acknowledge that J.K. Rowling's a shitty person, but like, did she necessarily have a hand in the game? Is she getting, like, how much in the way of kickbacks is she getting? Who are the actual developers that are benefiting from the game the most? Like the actual publishers, because big game publishers, they're not going to give most of the royalties to J.K. Rowling just because. They're going to, like, take that IP and, like, you know, work their magic and make it look okay. Their strategy now, like, as far as, like, the trans activists and people on, like, Twitter, it's more, like, funny to me than, like, tragic or anything like that. They're spoiling the game, but what that tells me is that people that are like on that side must have either purchased the game or are actively watching people that purchase the game and are live streaming it or something like that, because they're trying to spoil major story elements that happen later in the game in an attempt. It's kind of like when people were lining up at bookstores, except it was less about activism back then. It's more about being a dick. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, they're waiting in line for the latest and greatest book, and, like, suddenly people run up, and it's like, Ron Weasley dies at the end! And, like, you know, just, like, revealing various plot points that you're not supposed to know just because they can. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that.
Right.
Or, like, buying a PS5 that people are all waiting in line for. You buy one, and you take a sledgehammer to it, and you smash it right there and then, just to fuck with people. Which sounds like a waste of money, but what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. Yeah, so that happened this week. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's like, okay, I get it. I knew people. Okay, so like,
I have no idea what my tail's doing, dude.
I have no idea where your legs went.
I'm not even touching my controllers. It's just fucking doing stuff.
Right, it just does whatever it wants. Yeah.
Kelly Shea, my entire channel exists because of people crying online on the internet or acting a fool. Don't you dare badmouth them, unless they're bad people.
Right. Oh, yeah.
In which case, we can badmouth them all we want. To be fair, I do. So,
the one thing I'll say is, like, what's J.K. Rowling's, like, net worth? Like, as of right now, if they were to, like, sell off all their IP, liquidize all their assets, like, what is their absolute net worth?
It was several $1 million.
Because someone that big,
Yeah.
you had like, what, 20 fucking years to make a Harry
It's
Potter
almost
video
1
game
billion.
franchise?
Almost 1 billion.
Yeah,
Wait.
So they could have hired people in-house to make a fucking game. Like, they didn't have to go to another studio. They could have formed a video game studio.
How did she get a net worth of close to $1 billion?
What is it, 6 movies? Well, Disney...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Disney has, like, a Harry Potter theme park now, right?
I completely forgot about all that. I completely forgot about all that. I just thought it was the book series.
Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah, you're right. Man. Okay, now I understand why the trans activists are so angry at her. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense to me now. I didn't have that context because it's like, there's kind of like what I call the purity check. It's like, what if I don't like normies at all? Like hypothetically speaking. I suspect one of you two are actually a normie, just wearing a furry avatar, but you're not actually a furry. I drop various hints to establish the purity test to see how furry you are, which I guess like the secret handshake is if we're both male, we reach for the crotch. Nah, kidding.
Damn right. I don't discriminate. I always reach for the crotch.
But
I'm an equal opportunist.
Well, here's the problem. So like one thing I'll say about Keffels, for instance, it's very dangerous to cultivate an audience like that without truly understanding what they're actually like, because that's why some of these communities are so hyperbolic. Everything has to be a certain way. If there's any deviation to that, they will turn on one another. And it's like you're revealed as not being pure like the rest of them, even though none of them are probably very pure to begin with. It's probably more like, have you been established saying the N-word with a hard R? If not, welcome aboard. If you have, get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself. Die in a fire. I hope your dog dies tomorrow. I hope your car dies in the fucking driveway. I hope your fucking house implodes. I hope a fucking meteorite crashes in on your house.
I hope a Chinese spy balloon takes pictures of you.
Well,
that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
Dude.
God.
I made a meme. It's like, I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me. And it's the
that
Chinese
was bad, but that
balloon.
was just flat out egregious. Like,
Jesus Christ. I think we covered a lot. Like, I wasn't sure what we were going to cover tonight. I feel like we forgot a couple things along the way, but as we start to wrap things up, I'll just tell you guys about some YouTubers that I used to know that I covered on a channel, or I should say a video, not too long ago.
Just some YouTuber that I used to know.
I want you to do a cover of that for my benefit. Okay, so let's go ahead.
Burp.
Closing thoughts. We're going to wrap things up and start phasing things out. You've been a lovely audience so far, but I feel as though I rubbed a couple of you the wrong way. That's okay. Nothing was meant.
It's just the internet.
It's just the internet. It's just the internet.
Yeah, it's just business, kiddo.
It's just business, kiddo. Nothing personal. It's like Milhouse's father getting let go from the cracker factory, and it's just like, now you gotta understand, like, we sell a particular saltine here, whole saltines, for families. Maybe single people buy a product. We don't know, and quite frankly, we don't want to know. Well, quite frankly, it's a market we can do without. It's like, so after 30 years of service to you, that's it. Goodbye. Good luck. Is that all you're telling me right now? And it's like, I don't believe I said good luck. And it's just like
I don't believe that.
It's,
I wish you bad luck. The worst.
See, that's what Cyberpimp would be saying if like we were like a couple of cowboys trying to make it like a Midwestern town, and he's like head of some mine that's like the whole like magnate of the whole town, and it's like you're fired, get the fuck out. It's like, oh, aren't you gonna wish Arctacia and I good luck? No, in fact, I'm gonna wish you both bad luck. Get the fuck out of my business.
Bad luck. It's like, I hope your wagon wheel breaks. I hope the horse gets dehydrated. I hope you run out of rations. I hope the canopy blows off your wagon.
Oh no.
It's like, I won't wish harm on you. I won't wish harm on you, but I wish you the most inconveniences I could possibly muster in a sentence.
Could be worse. There was do you guys remember watching Excel Saga at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There was a coach that they had to help in an episode. And he needed help putting his team back together. And the curse that he's like, if you say no to me, every time that you go to the bathroom, there will be no toilet paper. And the only thing that you're going to have to wipe your ass with is going to be a magazine with really sharp paper. It's like, okay, we'll help you. Strangely specific, but we'll help you.
Right.
Let's see. There was something I was going to tell you guys. Oh yeah. As we wrap things up, there's an issue I want to bring up to your attention. It's focused on VR chat. Asset theft. Avatar theft. It's becoming more and more common now. It was already common when VR chat first happened, but now it seems like everybody's getting in on the whole, like, train of, oh my god, like, Avatar asset theft is completely the worst. And I'm curious how many people that, like, condemned it actually engaged in it themselves once upon a time, Now, if you're a creator and you're calling it out, that's one thing. But if you're, like, one of the, like, supporters that maybe goes above and beyond to try to, like, verify that somebody actually purchased the assets that they have, I wonder if you have something to hide, Reminds me of Thyanid that was using like 50 stolen assets all merged into this ungodly abomination of theft,
Oh yeah, the fucking the Lord Beerus model.
Yeah.
It's like people be like, oh hey, is that a custom avatar? It's like, yes. It's like, oh, did you make it? No. it's like, hey, who made that avatar? It's like, well, I got Darth Vader's helmet. That's obviously Star Wars, and that's from EA, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
I got Goku's tunic. That's obviously fucking, what is that? Bandai Capcom.
Yeah, Bandai.
So you just keep going down the line. It's like, who made that? It's like, this. It's like, I just shoehorned everything together in Blender.
As like a kit bash, just like fucked all that shit in there. All right.
No, I remember. So in the early days of VR chat, all my shit's dying. But
yeah,
in the early days of VR chat, there was actually a Blender plugin. Let me turn over here. There was a Blender plugin. It wasn't cats. It was something that went hand in hand with cats, where if you wanted to kit bash avatars, all you had to do, as long as two things had humanoid rigs, say you wanted the head swap, whatever, or say you just wanted to put your head on, fucking Fallout power armor, or you wanted whatever, you wanted to meme and put some whatever the fuck, or say you want another completely unrelated, Titanfall, very popular. Apex Legends, very popular. Shit like that. So people would take their cybernetic arm off a Titan or from Apex, and they would just kit bash it. So if that arm is rigged, if you have the actual model, that rigged model,
yeah,
you would just be able to put both models in Blender side by side, hide one model, highlight all the shit that you don't want, and delete it, but the rig would stay there. And then you would just merge skeletons. You just merge rigs. And then you would just stitch quickly where the fucking arm would be for weight painting issues. and it was simple, easy day. There was literally a Blender plugin that made kit bashing easy as fuck, but it can't. Oh man, I can't even fucking begin to remember what it was called. If you look back at old how to make custom avatar fucking YouTube videos and all that whoop-de-doo jazz from 2018, 2019, you'll find it. It's out there. The plugin's probably actually been updated, so if kit bashing is your, that's your cup of tea, if that's what you're all about, then it would probably help you. Also, check out like people in the Destiny community who like allocate Destiny 2 assets. Yeah, they collect them.
Well, here's my other
I don't know
problem.
what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. They just kind of find things, right? That's how we get the things in VR chat that we want. We just find them. Oh, I found something right over here.
No, do that shit all the time. Whoa, yo, Mo, you got them beans.
I like your reaction. You're just like, whoa. I'm just sitting here. Oh man.
Yeah, sitting over here.
See, I'm on the East Coast, so it's 1:10 right now. And one other person in this room is on the East Coast too. Maybe two. Both. All right.
Central.
You got some fans in the chat here then. All right.
Yeah, so it seems.
As we start winding down, one thing that I'm kind of... Overall, the EAC drama and bullshit that's kind of like happened, at least things are arguably better now than they were during that time period, because a lot of people were just like...
It's amazing what happens when you light a fire under someone's ass.
I'm glad that
they need to give us avatar search.
They should.
That is an absolute fucking staple that we should have had from launch.
Well, here's my issue, right? And I don't know how truthful this is, but I know for a fact the furry fandom has an economy. Okay, artists and fursuit makers reign supreme unless you say the naughty word or you're revealed to be a zoophile or a pedophile. But like generally speaking, artists, if you do a particular craft that is considered to be irreplaceable, then you are considered up here. You're one of you wield influence over various fans that follow you, or you're well known for. There have been allegations that fursuits, for instance, the prices are kind of regulated by a cartel. This is all conspiracy theory bullshit, by the way, but from an economic standpoint, it would make sense to me. It's not like an official cartel like OPEC or anything like that. I'm talking about there's a loose agreement with people that play ball that's established these prices to remain competitive and benefit the rest of us, or get the fuck out. Because and with fursuit making, I guess a good example of somebody that was trying to allege that all the drama surrounding her was just other fursuit makers trying to knock her out of the biz. She was alleging that these are just competitors that were trying to knock her out of the fucking market, which wasn't the case. She just made that there was nothing to back up her claim is the thing, because it's like fursuits, for instance. Cyberpunk wants a fursuit, that's going to be a 6 month investment as far as the time going back and forth with it. And that's being generous, because some people have to wait years. There's only so many customers that have that kind of money freely on hand to offer to the fursuit maker. And then you get dumbasses that are just oh, the furry fandom wants to be socialist, but then they're charging thousands of dollars for a fursuit. Make up your mind. And it's well, when you got somebody like Artasia who puts his fingers to the bone trying to make a good fursuit, I don't think he's making that much money off of the sweat of his brow giving you this fursuit, just using it as an example. Same with typical artists out there. Think of the time and investment and money just working on shit. Anyway, using what I already know as far as these avatars that took work to make, Bento, Tosca, Zab, there's an opportunity cost to everything they make. That's why there's only so many models that can really be dispensed. There's a lot out there, but in the early days, if you weren't a yin, you were a best boy. If you weren't a best boy, then you were one of those Japanese like jury-rigged avatars that weren't supposed to work because it was source filmmaker and stuff, or I should say that like MMD bullshit that was like pressed into service. But if you got it to work, you're golden. Now there's a lot more options, but at the same time,
having to install fucking language packs into Blender so that I could re-MMD facial emotes
and Japanese.
That was fucking terrible. Yeah, bro, that was fucking bad.
See, back in the day, if you had a good avatar, you were considered like a black magic wizard. You had like, you know, something that other people didn't. For me personally, it was
literally people who came over here with fucking custom transforming robot characters they had like 3 different forms and all these other crazy fucking things. No one even understood how Unity worked, because until VR chat like sprouted up out of the ground, I don't think there's a single fucking person out there who plays games, just games in general, that had any interest in Unity. No one gave a fuck about the Unity engine. Nobody. It was Unreal or it was nothing.
I just want to play the games. I don't want to make them. Why can't I have both?
Pretty much.
Nah, I kid.
I just wanted to play the fucking game, dude. I just want to come on here, fucking click 2 triggers, snap in full body, and all right, let's fire away.
I've helped Cyberpimp get some of his avatars into VR chat, but what I found was crazy is that a lot of people turn like Cyber. Do you mind if I mention this? Just I won't get into details, but I'll just say, you know, the circumstances of me helping you get shit into VR chat. Relatively simple process.
Whatever.
It was a relative just open the Unity package, make sure that nothing broke. As far as there was a weird fluctuation just there. I think the hackers are attacking my live stream.
No, dude, it's the convergence. Ask Chris Chen.
Oh
I don't want to even think about Chris Chan anymore. And yet he strangely comes into my mind every so often. Okay, so real quick. I walked you through the process. Get the Unity package into into Unity. If it doesn't have a Unity package, you're going to have to rely on the FBX. Make sure that the dynamic bones are converted to fizz bones. Material packs so that the colors look all right. Poyomi shader works pretty good. Relatively simple process, and for a long time, nobody would invest time with you. I remember some of the conversations that you mentioned to me in passing. Like one guy was like, "Oh, gee, know how, fam? I'm gonna go ahead and show you." Actually, I don't give enough of a shit about VR chat to really show you. I just said that because I was in the moment. Bye.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
That was just. That sounds like a shitty friend right there, to be honest with you. But, you know.
Dude, I remember I asked somebody for, retexture help. Not even, I don't want you to retexture anything.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do anything. I said, what's that one feature in Photoshop where you can go from this to this and you have a U slider?
$5.
And they were straight up they were like, yeah, you will $40, and I'll tell you what that is. I'm like, are you dead ass? And I knew this motherfucker for 4 years. I was like, huh.
Cyber.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go over to this Discord, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'll give anybody in here $20 if you tell me how to recolor this. And then 25 people hit me up in DMs, and I was like, wow, imagine how that fucking works.
Wherever you go, the one lesson I learned from Kingdom Hearts, money talks. But
pretty much.
Cyber, I don't think you're truly appreciating this the situation. The friend that was trying to bilk you for $40, that's going to drug money, man. He needs to inject that shit in his veins. You don't understand the trials and tribulations
it's that copium and the ego boost.
Both. $40 is $40, man. You can't, like, what's a couple of dollars among friends? It's like if Arctasia was like, hey, like, Hujo, do you have that free avatar that was free available, but, like, for whatever reason, the repository got deleted and now nobody has a copy? But, like, yes, I have the last copy right here. That'll be $500 and your firstborn child. Now, Arctasia would just be like, joke's on you. I don't have a firstborn child. Nah, I kid. But, no, literally, Ashy Paws did shit like that.
This conversation is like a condensed version of why I stopped playing VR chat.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember, like, Ashy Paws?
It doesn't get better.
No, it doesn't.
We are at the crucible right now.
Yeah. Well, we're going to save this conversation for next time. But remember Ashy Paws? He would literally he pretended to be an avatar maker. He would take other people's products, modify them a little bit, say, this is my product. And then he would, like, put asinine bullshit prices on them that were, like, way more than they were actually worth. And if you're dumb, like, I wouldn't say dumb enough, if you're gullible enough to elicit his services to make you an avatar, he would bilk you every which way. And if you lost it for whatever reason, because your computer reformatted or something like that, he would try to extort more money out of you. He wouldn't just send you a copy, even though you listed his services the first time around. I heard various stories, and yeah. The problem the reason I mentioned him, this is all ancient history, so I don't know if he still does that, but I do remember a couple of artists I know of that basically said, word to the wise, never work with Ashy Paws. He will try to rip you off 9 ways to Sunday. He's like a used car salesman. You know how used car salesmen are? I bet Cyberpimp could be
Doug Dimmadome.
Yep. Okay.
If I was a used cars salesman, the only thing I would ever sell is Ford F-150s. Because that's what it was like to drive a Ford F-150.
My dad has one. Although the price of diesel right now is unenviable. All right. We are already over our limit of 3 hours and 34 minutes, 35 minutes now. Arctasia, Cyberpimp, thanks for making the time tonight to come here and be a part of this live stream. We had a lot of good moments through this one. I'll try to structure things a little bit better next time, but I wasn't sure what to expect tonight. I was hoping Maxwell would have been able to join us, but you can't have everything you want.
Oh, I'm just a fox.
Well.
Oh my god. That gave me, like, chills.
It's almost as if Maxwell was still alive and with us today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, I had to replace
like the turbine in his chest, just like stick your finger in there and it'll stop the fan.
And then he dies. No, it's like Iron Man.
Start spinning it backwards.
It's like Iron Man. Remember Iron Man, that he had to replace the core in his chest, and he was guiding his like girlfriend on that, and it's like, I'm starting to go into cardiac arrest, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Okay, you need to, like,
he's like, whatever you do not pull the magnet out at the bottom. And he's like, well, yeah, there it is. You pull the magnet out. It's like, what's happening? Well, I'm going into cardiac arrest. It's like, right now.
Yeah. All right. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Till next time, guys, take care and peace. IPL a better one.
Yes.
Yo.
Until next time.
Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
I thought you were going to say, skate fast, eat ass.
That too, but remember, half the battle is red lasers, half the battle is blue lasers, and everything else that's left over is knowing. G.I. Joe.
Words of wisdom for our very own resident Cyberpimp. Or as the Japanese like to call him, Cyberpimpo.
Copyright strike.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to shut this fucker down.